Bishba Okay, so it is time. Horror pill. Horror pill, horror pill, horror pill. Can you put your message up? Hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone who's here. All 10 of you so far that I can see that are here. Hello, everybody. Thank you to everyone who's liked so far. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm pretty sure you should be able to. I did check everything, but just let me know. Let me switch over to this so I can see my own audio bubble. Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's in here. Shout out everyone that's come through so far. So, Chrysalis Burst. I don't know if you're in here now, but thank you for leaving that comment earlier. I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but I'm just going to say Hugh. Hugh, thank you for the 13th like. Now, hello. Quinskew, hello. Who else is here? Just me talking nonsense. Lady Lucina, Grandma, yes, hello. It's not let me click on this one. Kevlar for weeks and days, hello. Oh, message went down. Hello, hello. Horror Pill, my son, hello. Princess Farron, hello. Oh, I just skipped two of you. Sorry about that. Hello, Princess Farron. Adonai, hello to you. It's hello. Hello. If I'm saying any of your names wrong, just let me know, because, you know, who else? Who have I not said hello to? Xen, hello. Bryson, hello. I don't know why I got this, but I see Fury. I click. Well, that's the plan. That's the plan, right? That's the plan. I don't know why you got this either, but that's YouTube for you, right? Just you've probably been watching some of my videos because your icon looks familiar. I'm pretty sure I've seen you comment on my videos. I'm pretty sure. Hello, Critic Perfect. Hello. So, oh yeah, Critic Perfect. I've already told you this. I saw your comment before, but the mod videos, phenomenal stuff. I'm really interested to see what all the modders pull off with Kingdom Hearts on PC. Some people tried to tell me like, oh, the mods are gonna be trash because like there's no native modding support on PC on Epic Store or something like that. Look, I'm no expert with mods, but I don't know. The modders seem hyped, so I'm just gonna go with them because they're the ones that do it. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to assume you guys can hear me perfectly fine since you're responding. Maybe. Bryson says, maybe, I don't know, I've been on a Kingdom Hearts kick. I don't know what I've watched. Well, you know, it is what it is, right? But I've definitely seen your trilogy. Hello. I'm almost 110% certain your name is a reference to Star Wars. I'm pretty certain of that. In which case, I agree. There's gonna be like one who loves the sequel trilogy is about to hit the dislike button, but I don't care. I stand by what I just said. Sequel trilogy sucks. This name is facts. Okay, so I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, right? I'm not entirely certain, you know, exactly how I'm gonna start this, other than to say thank you. That is the first thing I will do because that's just having good manners, right? So I'm not gonna do it for too long, but I do have to say thanks because a lot of people. Why do I keep? Because a lot of people have supported me recently. Subscribing. Is not a lot on YouTube. It really isn't, but I'm gonna be grateful for it anyway. Because at the end of the day, it might be. I'm not sure how it sounds. Let me know, guys, if my audio quality is fine. I'll go check it myself. But you let me know how it sounds on your end. I don't want to put too much of an echo. That's why I'm not. Hold on, I can check in another tab on here. But yeah, you know, I did want to say thank you to everybody who has been supporting. So ads. Cutting out. Okay. Hold on. Give me a moment. Try and see what I can do. Might be because I think I know what it is. Hold on. Okay. This is what happens when you're new to streaming. This is what happens. Okay. All right. I'm not sure if it's much better, but just let me know. Hopefully it doesn't fluctuate too much, but it tells me it's so could be lying. I don't know. But in the meantime, anyway, you guys let me know what kinds of things you've got to say, what theories you have, what ideas you have. I'm gonna just read your comments quickly. Um, Bryson said, "Yep, Wayfinder Trio video. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been watching that video recently. Jesus, I cannot can't believe how many people have been watching that. Um, like it's crazy. That thing went up like 3,000 views in the past day. It's nuts. Um, Critic perfect. Thanks, man. I'm basically just waiting for documentation to come out on the game. Then it's all smooth sailing. Okay, sounds good. The fandom will make it epic. It's gonna be epic, right? It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic. Um, Especially since it's on the Epic store. Isabel, hello. Just started spotting them gems. I'm ready. Yeah, okay, it's a bit choppy. Blah. I played some Dark Road today, and it just dawned on me. And it just dawned on an idea, potential theory. What law significance would be for the Tower of Trials in Scarlet at Kylum? Hmm. I'm not sure. I'm familiar with what the Tower of Trials is. Maybe I am. I'm not certain. What law significance would be for the Tower of Trials and Scarlet at Kylum? Maybe it's because I haven't played Dark Road. Maybe that's why I'm at a loss right now. But I'm assuming the Tower of Trials is something you play in the game. I'm going to assume, in which case I'm not sure. Um, but it's something to consider. I'm going to Google in a moment, or you can explain it to me. Streamlabs the way to go on the streaming side of things. Yeah, I'm aware. Streamlabs and all that stuff, I'm aware. It's something I have to set up. I wanted to do something that would be really, really easy for me to do, so I wouldn't have too much issues. Hearing you loud and clear. It's clear enough we can understand you when your voice doesn't rise too drastically. Okay. Here's mine, because I got to go. If that's what you meant, then yeah, be sure to post it. I need to play Birth by Sleep. I've only ever played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I'm between the PS4 with story so far. 1.5, 2.5 on PC for mods. Yeah, well, you definitely do need to play Birth by Sleep because Birth by Sleep, in my personal opinion, has got one of the best stories out of all the games. But not everyone agrees. I do think Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely one of the best, but everyone says that, so that's not really saying much. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be really controversial if I said something like, Coded or Chain of Memories is the best game, especially if I said Coded. I think a lot of people would get mad. Ava is Sora's mom. No one can change my mind. Who knows? Could be. Tower Child is basically an NPC melee thing with 100 floors, and each floor goes up in difficulty via levels. Basically a rush mode. I see. So, okay, yeah, I've seen things like that in games before. So, all right. So you basically just have to clear each floor and work your way up. Okay. I'm not sure if that would have lore significance. I would imagine it's just a game feature, but who knows? I mean, in terms of the trials, though, it might be used for, I guess, training purposes, maybe, because I guess that may be in the context of the game, what it's used for. That would actually be pretty cool. I'm not sure how I'd feel about Alva being Sora's mum. Wouldn't that be kind of? Uh, Actually, you know what? I never considered that, but you know, who knows? Who knows? I mean, I'm still. You guys, if you've seen my video on it, I'm still kind of, I'm still more partial to the idea that she's got something to do with Alva, but I could be wrong. It's a super easy, actually. You you get rankings for certain floor milestone. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Has great combat, but the story is just well, I mean, I haven't played 2 for a while. It was my first Kingdom Hearts game, so my nostalgia is never going to agree with you. My nostalgia is never going to agree with that. But I'm playing through Kingdom Hearts through the games again because I haven't played some of them, especially Kingdom Hearts 1. I haven't played that for years. So I'm playing through them again because I want to just refamiliarize myself with the games entirely. And I'm also playing Final Fantasy X at the minute, and I'm really enjoying that game. I haven't gotten very far yet because I haven't played it very, very much, but I am playing that and I'm enjoying it. So Final Fantasy X is pretty cool. A lot of people told me it's a great game, and I'm enjoying it so far. Hello, Jack Brown says Ansem is Sora's dad. Well, I mean, you know, it's funny. Like everyone's got ideas on. I know you're probably joking, but a lot of people have different ideas on who exactly Sora's parents could be, or mother, I suppose mom could be, especially his mom, because we heard her speak in Kingdom Hearts 1. And because I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 1 recently, I saw that cutscene again, and it's kind of funny. Like there's a point before that where they talk about where when I think it's when no, it's after that. Was it? Yeah, it's a bit after that, I think. Basically, it's when the darkness is coming to take over Destiny Islands, and then Riku's there talking to Sora about we can go to new worlds now, but he says we may never see our parents again, right? So I know there were some people who are like, oh, do they even have parents? Maybe they don't, blah blah. But it seems like they do for sure have parents. Like everyone's got parents. You know what I mean? It's just for some reason they're just not around, and I don't know why, but they're not. At this point, Sora is probably Sora's mom. You know what? Why not? I don't completely think that's out of the realm of possibility. Do you have a Discord that your subscribers can join? I do not, but people have been asking me, and I'm considering it. I'll say that I'm considering it. I use Discord, but I don't have a server dedicated to people being able to come in and basically have their say and stuff like that. But I'm considering it. I'm definitely considering it. Would you guys want some music? Probably not. We should probably not do anything to stress the stream, right? Because we don't want we don't want it to be choppier than it already is, which is a shame. But I'll try and sort that out. But hopefully, you guys can still enjoy it anyway. It's mostly I wanted to talk to you guys anyway. Now I will at some point be looking at something, looking at like maybe breaking down something, because I wanted to talk about some ideas that I have and some theories that I have and stuff. But really, I want to make it mostly about you guys right now. Because at the end of the day, the stream's dedicated to all of you who subscribed to me and all of you who supported my videos. Because I'm still quite new in a lot of ways to making Kingdom Hearts content. So even though I've got a video from 2 years ago and a couple more from like over a year ago, to me, I didn't really start properly until November, because before then I wasn't taking it very serious. So it's quite recent that I've been really trying to make this type of content. So, and you guys have been supporting it quite a lot. So I do appreciate that. And I do appreciate all of you that are here right now. like watching or listening or adding your comments. Like, thank you. I'm glad I'm seeing the views. Like, there's 19 people. It's going up and down. But honestly, I wasn't sure if I just have 5 people in here or 2 or what. So thank you everyone who has who has come. I'm still new to this stuff, streaming and stuff, so I still got to get it all sorted out. But I do appreciate everyone that's supporting me. I'm not sure if I just addressed this, but yeah, Kid Q said Yensid cannot be trusted. A lot of people seem to have this opinion. A lot of people are suspicious of Yensid. Some people think like he's got a book of prophecies and he's working with the Master of Masters and all sorts of things. I'm not really sure what I think of him. To me, he's just, I don't know. I just kind of see him as Yensid. Like, I don't know. I don't really have any real theory on him or any real opinions. Maybe you guys can suggest some stuff and I'll see what you guys have to say. Because I don't really have any real opinion on him. It's just, Jack Brown says, hello, Jack Brown. He says, the story for 2 is okay. It's more of a payoff of the setups from Chain. Maybe Days. Not sure if that came out before or after. Came out before. But once Roxas is gone, Kingdom Hearts 2 is more spectacle than in-depth moments. I mean, it's funny, right, that Roxas was a new character in a sense for a lot of us when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. So it's just kind of funny that he became so popular, because usually when a new character comes in and replaces the usual protagonist, they're not received very well. But the thing is, Roxas, his story was so good, and the way it was told in those first few hours of the game was really solid, like really damn good. Some of the best, I want to say some of the best writing, I'd say, in the Kingdom Hearts series, I think, is contained in that little prologue part with Roxas, honestly. And for me, as I said, Kingdom Hearts 2 was my introduction. So you can imagine, I came in, all I knew was Roxas. He's having these flashbacks. I can tell because I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2. I knew as a kid, okay, there's a game before this. I thought there was just one game. Little did I know. Little did I know there was more than one game before it. But what is Tony says, no, watch blank point. Zigbar says, please tell me the amnesia was a joke, some cliche. Oh, I think that's in response to I think if I missed some comments. Oh my gosh, yeah, I've missed some comments. Okay, so this thing's putting the comments in a bit late. So, do you think Kingdom Hearts? Oh, this one, Create Perfect. The more you think about Alva being his mom, the more sense it makes, even with little to no proof. I suppose. I guess. I guess it's possible. Do you think Kingdom Hearts is written from the perspective of it being a game, but the characters do not know? For example, the Virum Rex game is more of a literal crossover. See, this is a very interesting question because I am mostly of the opinion for now, right? I haven't made a theory on this, but I'm considering trying to make a theory on this. I'm mostly of the opinion right now that Kingdom Hearts is the actual unreality and it's the video game. At the very least, I think the word fiction applies more to Kingdom Hearts than it does on the other side. I don't think unreality is the fiction, or I don't know, but I think Kingdom Hearts could be the fiction. I really do. And I'll explain maybe a bit more on why I think that in a bit. But I'm just going to go through his comments. But I think that I think it's very possible that it's written from the perspective of it being a game. But they don't know. I think that is very, very possible. And it just seems like in some ways that's what's being alluded to. Like when in Toy Box, when Buzz says to Sora, he's like, "Oh, I forgot you're from a video game." Like, I don't know. It just seems like it's being alluded to that it is a game in some way, And I just think it's really funny how, like, who is it? The characters, Ansem, right? How they assume so quickly that Yuzora's side is the fiction. You know what I mean? And they would, because from their perspective, the world they're in is the real world. So anything else is made up. It's fictional. You know what I mean? But I just think it's funny that they assume that. and they never stop to think maybe we're the fiction, because from their perspective it's all normal. You know what I mean? But to Yozora, if he saw the Kingdom Hearts universe, he'd probably think it's ridiculous. You know, I mean, I'm sure if he saw Donald and Goofy, he'd definitely think something was a bit, you know. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe there's some Donald and Goofies on his side of things, but I doubt it. Does anyone else agree that Xehanort is Lushu? I'm not sure about that, but you know, this is the funny thing. It's like, who knows? It's like, I don't personally think he is, but who knows? You know, Zigbar is Lushu. Well, yeah, we pretty much know that now. I already read this comment. I already read this. Anyone else use Sonic Blade on Demix on Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix? No, I certainly haven't, because I have not played Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix in a while. So if I did used to do that, I wouldn't remember. Kazumaru said Sora's mom and dad are the main guy and girl from the bouncer. I mean, the hero of the game is named Sion and looks just like Sora. I do not know what the bouncer is, but I'm going to take your word for it. Jack Brown says, I don't think Xehanort is Lushu. It is possible, but I think it would undermine Xehanort as an individual character. I completely agree. Kind of wish Ansem and Xemnas had their own motivations in 3. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they don't really, because they had their own games, right? Ansem had Kingdom Hearts 1, Xemnas had Kingdom Hearts 2, so they don't really, at this point, it's like their motivations are Old Man Xehanort's motivations, you know what I mean? So it's like they don't really need to have their own motivations. I get what you're saying, but there's a lot of characters got kind of sidetracked a little bit in Kingdom Hearts 3, in my opinion, and the antagonists, at least they had whole games where they were the antagonists, you know what I mean? I mean, Kairi's meant to be one of the protagonists, and she ain't really had a proper game to herself yet. I mean, let's be real, she hasn't, you know. Yen Sid is backwards is Disney, so there's reason enough to not trust him. Fair point. Tyler Middlebrook says, will Scold take Arva's place? Well, if you've seen my video, my theory, then you already know that I'm pretty certain she will. I'm pretty confident that she will. And I explained in that video why. I think she's going to be the new Volpez sort of union leader. I could be wrong, you know, like all my theories could be wrong, but some theories I do where sometimes I'm like, that could go either way. But that one, I'm pretty confident about. I'm pretty confident about that one. You know, it's a lot more interesting than the alternatives. Horror Pill says Yozora is going to still name the star at the final world. That's why he needs Sora. Maybe. I mean, isn't it interesting that when he beats Sora in the bad ending, when he crystallizes him and then touches Sora, he ends up in the final world. The problem is, because he wakes up, we don't know what would have happened after that point. But isn't it just funny that he ends up there? Like, why did that happen? How does that make sense? I'm assuming it's some sort of thing where Sora kind of acted as like a portal to help him cross over into the Kingdom Hearts universe or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking something like that happened. But that whole sequence is really weird. Yen Sid isn't supposed to be sus. He's just a bit of a wooden character like Anthem. Think if their voice actors were more expressive and less exposition based, they would seem much more human. That's a very good point. And let me say this, because Jack Brown, I'm noticing from some of your comments, you're picking up on some of the more like narrative, you know, explanations behind things. Some of the I guess you could say like some of the more technical writing aspects of it. And I agree with you. See, like, this is a good point, because sometimes a character just isn't fleshed out very much, and so they just naturally seem mysterious because there's not much to them. But the truth is, there's just not much to them. It's not because, you know, there's some crazy mysterious. But to be fair, Yen Sid, he did, you know, come in Kingdom Hearts 3 and he put in a bit of work, and we've never seen him do that. I mean, so I don't know. Maybe there's more to him than we think. He's got this history of being a Keyblade master, but where's his Keyblade? You know what I mean? And I kind of can't imagine Yen Sid with a Keyblade, But I guess if we had never seen Mickey with a Keyblade, you know what I mean? Like, what would you think? So, but yeah, I'm more partial to this idea. Kingdom Hearts 2 Roxas was at risk of being like Liquid. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Liquid Snake from Metal Gear, where people hated playing him, still being Solid Snake. It's great that he is so fleshed out and popular. Yeah, yeah. In Metal Gear Solid 2, Raiden, right? When Raiden was the protagonist in Metal Gear Solid 2, people didn't like him. That is exactly who I was thinking of. And yeah, people really didn't like Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2. And that's why it's just really cool that in Roxas's case, people did like him, even though he replaced Sora. But I think the reason why is because his story was compelling enough and he didn't overstay his welcome. If you had to play the whole game as Roxas, it might be a little different. But it's like he just had the right amount of time in the game, and then that was it. And he had 2 Keyblades. I mean, come on, man, come on. Like, how was you not gonna like him? A lot of us played that as kids. I mean, 2 Keyblades. Come on now. You know, Nomura knew that would get us hyped. Kid Q says, Yensid knows all. Guides the light, provides the coats, could have helped the gang wait till the very last second. Yeah. He's definitely, you know, you gotta wonder. I mean, you say he knows all. You have got to wonder how much he does know about things. Some people say he's got a book of prophecies, and if that's true, you know, I think it's a very interesting idea. If that is true, then yeah, he does know everything. If he's got a book of prophecies, he would know. But there's no confirmation he has a book of prophecies. But if he does, then yeah. Jack Brown says Nomura gets more meta as the series progresses. Will be really interesting to see how far it will go. Yeah, you know something I'm wondering? Because it seems like they have Shibuya and Tokyo and stuff like that. I'm wondering if anything related to Square Enix is going to be there. You know what I mean? Everyone keeps talking about, and when I say Square Enix, I'm not talking Final Fantasy. I mean actual Square Enix, like their actual offices or something. You know, because the buildings there are real world buildings, right? Like the building that the Master of Masters is standing on is a real building. The place where the Nameless Star is standing is a real place. It's called Shibuya Sky. I mentioned it in my theory because, you know, had to throw it in as some evidence. But it's just, they're real buildings. It's, the Shibuya Scramble's there, right? So all the things that people know to be there are there. So what else is there? You know, what else is there? Interesting to think about. What do you think Yuzora's true appearance and name is? Bob Stoker asks. Well, I don't know. I made that video about it, right? And true appearance. Some people said something that I was considering when they said that he could look like Sora. I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past it being possible. Like, I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility for that to be the case. I think it's definitely possible. But I really don't know. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't actually know. I'm just going to be real. I don't. Okay, you guys have put in quite a few comments, so I appreciate that. Sora has Yen Sid. Yuzora will have. Hold on. Final Fantasy. Okay. I know I know what you're trying to say, but I had to read it backwards. Yeah, Final Fantasy. Possibly. That is possible. If people's theories are correct. I haven't personally said anything on this, but some people truly believe that in Quadratum, because it's the Latin word for square, some people are convinced, absolutely convinced, that Square Enix worlds are going to be there. Maybe. I'm not sure where I stand on it, but I do think it's definitely very possible. I do think it's very, very possible. Maybe Azora is the real world Sora. Yo, Sora. That's, you know, I'm like partial to the idea that there's a real world. So okay, I'm gonna throw something out for you guys to think about, right? So, Zora, he wakes up in his car, right? And the car that he wakes up in, where we believe Luxord is there or whatever. Isn't it interesting that we don't see the city outside of the car? I know that might seem like nothing, but if you see the original Versus 13 trailer, let me actually try and find it for you guys so I can pull it up for you. Go and get it for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. But in the original Versus 13 trailer, that's basically what, you know, it's imitating. You can see Noctis. You can see the city, right? You can see more of it than you can see in the ending with Yuzora. And I think it's kind of interesting that you don't see the city. And the reason why I think that is because I think it's very, very possible that Shibuya and Quadratum, I don't know, they could be two different places. A lot of people have the idea, but I'm not sure. Again, Shibuya could just be a district inside of Quadratum. So instead of Shibuya being a district in Tokyo, it's a district in Quadratum, right? And that would also mean that Shinjuku, which is where we saw Riku in the original Secret Ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, that could also be one of the districts. So there could be 4 districts, and that's why it's called Quadratum, you know. And then there could also be some other stuff going on, I'm not sure. But I do think it's just, I don't know, I just think it's interesting that we don't see the outside of the car. And could be absolutely nothing, but something I'm just leaning towards. So I'm gonna try and find it for you guys. Put it up. Let me just check the video real quick so I can make sure this is the right video. Yep, here it is. So, okay, let me just read through you guys' comments a bit more. Tyler Middlebrooks thinks we'll get an explanation on certain Keyblades like Vanitas and Mickey's new one. I wouldn't bank on it, but maybe. And I only say that because, I mean, are Keyblades ever really truly explained like that? I mean, you know, I mean, No Name kind of is explained in a sense, but maybe it's not impossible. Quadratum will have characters that mirror the Kingdom Hearts characters, like how Yuzora's friends mirror Donald and Goofy. Yes, I do think that's very possible. I do think that is very, very possible. It is kind of interesting that, you know, it kind of seems to be playing out like that. Like, I have to wonder how much is being mirrored. You know what I mean? I mean, like, okay, if Sora, and this is the point of contention, who is Sora's mirror, right? Because everyone says it's Yuzora, and I do think that's how it's being made to seem. But then there's also the matter of who's the other, you know, characters' mirrors. Do all the trios have mirrors, or is it just the Destiny trio? You know, like, because that's a lot of characters in unreality. Like, a lot of people we're going to meet if that's the case. Like, we're going to meet whole new trios. We're going to meet a Birth by Sleep mirror. We're going to be a Days mirror. There's going to be a mirror of, you know, like, that's just crazy. Is it going to go that far? Is there going to be mirrors for the Disney princesses too? Like, is there going to be mirrors for the foretellers? Like, how far does that concept go? Is what I'm thinking. You know, maybe it's just limited to the Destiny trio or something, but it's interesting to think about. Have you seen the Mickey versus Yoda battle? No, I have not, but I keep hearing people talk about it, and YouTube clearly wants me to watch it because it keeps suggesting it to me. I haven't seen it yet. But people keep talking about it, and YouTube obviously seems to think I'd be interested because it keeps shoving it in my face. So that's probably a sign. Isabel Stoker says, Jack Brown, you're killing me. Master of Monsters gives me Deadpool vibes. Yeah, he does seem like he will break the fourth wall. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a theory on the Master of Monsters in a bit that I have, and you guys can let me know what you think of it. Nobody really dies in Kingdom Hearts. Well, you know, I mean, would you consider Ericus and Xehanort being dead? You know what I mean? I mean, it's kind of funny, right? Like, I guess they are dead. I can't really see them coming back in the future, but it's kind of funny because when they died, I guess they get their own game. You know what I mean? or Xehanort gets a game. So it's like they're not really gone, but they are gone, but they're not gone in a sense. Like we're still following their story. So they're still around in some capacity. I have a theory about what Yuzora really looks like. Okay, let's see it. The Final Fantasy Versus 13 characters lost their names and appearance to their Final Fantasy 15 counterparts. Viren Rex is them reclaiming their hearts. Yuzora is Noctis, Nameless Star is Stellar, Demix is Prompto, Locksword is Core. I have seen this idea before, and I think it's very, very interesting, and I don't think it's out of the wrong possibility whatsoever. The thing I'm curious about, though, is, and this is not so much to do with on a narrative level, it's more to do with, I guess you could say, a business level. I'm not sure how, like, if Nomura would really go there, like in terms of with Final Fantasy 15 being, you know, its own thing. I'm not sure what the precedent, like, I'm not sure how that works. I don't think it's impossible though. I really don't. But I'm not sure how that might work, I guess, in that sense, you know. Like, would that be an issue, or could he do it in a sly way? It's kind of like how he was moved off of, you know, Versus 13 was cancelled, and it was kind of like taboo in Square Enix for them to even talk about Versus 13. You know, it's like they don't want to hear about it. But Nomura, everyone keeps saying, oh, Nomura's salty, he's salty, and he found his way to get his Versus 13 anyway. You know what I mean? So there might be some way he might take a dig at 15. I don't know. I'm not sure how salty he is about it, to be honest, but it's possible. It's possible. At the very least, we're just going to entertain it from a lore perspective. I do think it is possible, like, conceptually, I'll say. Like, as a concept, I think it's very possible. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, based on what I'm seeing and what I understand, I don't think it's impossible for it to happen. I will say, so the whole Yuzora is Noctis and Nameless Star is Stellar, Demix is Prompto. See, this is the thing. Nameless Star. Oh boy, the Nameless Star, man. Everyone's got their ideas on this Nameless Star. I have to say, I feel like the Nameless Star is just, Yuzora is confusing, but the Nameless Star is really, to me, quite interesting, because I want to know why Yuzora was trying to save her. I want to know who took her form. Why did they take her form? I want to know what that power was that she did in the commercial when she does the beam. Like, what is that? Is that karma? If you guys read the back of the Viren Rex box, it mentions karma. Like, what is that beam she's using? You know, like, I'm curious just about what's her name. You guys know I go hard on my theory about, you know, it wasn't even my theory. I originally saw it on YouTube. I saw people commenting it, but I didn't see people really talking about it in videos. So I thought about it and I made some videos on it, and that was some of my earliest theories from a year ago. And then when I started to come and take YouTube more seriously back in November, I came in right after Melody of Memory came out, like, her name's Sora, and I wasn't backing down because I saw it as well, like, where she didn't respond to the name Sora, and I thought, well, guess those theories are dead. But then I went and watched the original cutscene where she speaks to Sora again, and I thought, well, actually, there might be an explanation for this, because she says her identity was taken from her, so it's not impossible. You know, it's not impossible. But I know some people don't like that theory because they're like, oh, I don't want her name to be Sora. Well, here's what it seems like to me, okay? Even if her name is not Sora, right? Even if the Nameless Star's name is not Sora, the thing is, it still seems to me as though there's somebody that is not Kingdom Hearts Sora that has the name Sora and Yuzora is looking for them. So what I'm trying to say is, either way, it seems to me like there's going to be two Soras. So if your issue with it is you don't like the idea of there being two Soras, I don't know what to tell you, because it seems like there's going to be two Soras. I could be wrong, but there's just, you know, I don't know. There's just too much signs pointing to him talking about her and not Kingdom Hearts Sora. There's just too many signs. You guys let me know, because now that it's a live stream, you guys can actually tell me right now live, like, what you think of that. But I have so many different things I could say about it that I've not even put into videos yet. Sora might be able to return to his world if he goes to Tokyo Disneyland. Well, that's a very interesting point. There's a video I'm going to do about that because you guys might not know this, but Disneyland doesn't seem to be in unreality, believe it or not. You guys probably didn't notice that. And yeah, I don't think it's there. I don't think it's there. You guys know where Disneyland typically is in Tokyo? It's near the Tokyo Bay, the Tokyo, Bay kind of area. Well, all I'm gonna say is that there's a very, very it's very possible it's not there. It's very possible it is not there. But on a serious note, whose side do you think the foretellers will be on? Lushu, the one they have to look to for guidance in the modern. Lushu is the one they have to look to for guidance in the modern age. He seems to play the line between light and dark. Well, I think they're gonna. I don't know. I think they're gonna follow the master for now. The thing is, we don't know what he told them at the epilogue. He just says, "I hope you like long stories" or something like that. We don't really know what followed that. He might have. I don't know, like what was in the box. I don't know if he opened it. I don't know what he told them, but it could have been something that would make them turn against the master or rethink their position or something like that. But I'm not sure. I really, really don't know. But it could be anything that he told them. To be honest, it could be anything. Let's see what else there is. Feel like I'm the only Kingdom Hearts fan that's never played Final Fantasy and barely watched any Disney films. OG characters for the win. Yeah, I mean, it's not essential for you to. It just means you'll understand some references and kind of be more excited when you see certain characters. That's about it, to be honest. The reason Kingdom Hearts 3. Hold on, let me just see how many comments there are. Okay, there's quite a few comments for you to get through. All right, I'm going to try to speed this up. The reason Kingdom Hearts 3 leans so heavily into the Disney aspect of its franchise, resolving many of its loose ends, is because now with Quadradum, they'll be free to lean more heavily on Square's properties. Very possible. That is very, very possible indeed. That might be why the Final Fantasy characters were held back. Maybe Nomura knew, he's going to completely spam us with Final Fantasy after this point, so maybe that's why he held back. Very possible. If they want to go further into Square, Dragon Quest Heroes could possibly be the Princess of Heart Mirrors. The Princess of Heart Mirrors. Ah, okay. Dragon Quest Heroes. Possibly. I don't know too much about Dragon Quest. I played a bit of The Cursed King back on PS2 when I was younger, but that's really about it. So, possibly. Would be interested to see if Zigbar's personality is maintained as Lushu. Could there be an internal conflict between Braig, Lushu in a similar manner to Terra Xehanort within Terranort? Maybe. The thing about Lushu is that we don't really know how he got his current body yet. I'm going to assume Dark Road is going to show us, maybe. If there's a lot of people who think that Lushu is Master Odin in Dark Road. So I guess it is possible. If he is Master Odin, he's going to have to lose that body, right? Because we know Braig is not an old man. You're right. So, and he didn't have one. I don't know if Odin's got one eye because his hat's kind of covering, but it looks like he's only got one eye. I don't know. But we know that Braig in Birth by Sleep has, both his eyes until, Terra snipes it out. And then, but yeah, it could be. I'm not sure. But it seems like he's got pretty firm control over that body. It seems like he's got pretty firm control over that body. But I don't know. I've never played Final Fantasy either. Just wrote my speculation video, 14 pages long. Jesus, 14 pages. Man. I mean, I write stories like actual, like novels. So, I mean, 14 pages, I mean, it's not that crazy, but for a speculation video, I can't tell you I'd be anywhere near close to that. I don't think I've even, I'm not sure if my notes are even a page long. I think they're probably about maybe a page and a bit. I don't think I've ever done more than that. But yeah, that's a lot. There's a lot of cleanup to do. That's part of writing, though. Part of writing is that you're gonna have to do a lot of editing. You're gonna have to think, and when you make videos as well, like when you do videos, especially these type of videos, speculations and theories, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna want to, because the thing about a theory is once you put it out as a video, it's out there now, right? Now you can delete the video, but you can't edit the video. You know what I mean? Like once it's there, it's just there. You can't. It's not like a document or a blog post, or even like if people post tweets sometimes on forums and things like that. You can edit posts. You can't edit a YouTube video. So like if I say something like 4 minutes into the video and I get something a bit wrong, which does happen sometimes, and then someone in the comments is like, "This isn't true." It's like, damn it, I know it's not true, but I can't edit it. So I've got to just kind of live with it. And it's really long to like redo the whole video. I've done it before when I've gotten something wrong, like 1 or 2 words wrong, and I'm like, I have got to edit this, otherwise people are going to destroy me in the comments. So I'm sure Ericus will probably live on like a Jedi Force Ghost or something for the Birth by Sleep trio. Yeah, some Obi-Wan stuff. Use the Force. Go to Dagobah. That would actually be kind of alright. That'd actually be alright. And a lot of people already know that Kingdom Hearts is quite similar to Star Wars in a lot of ways, thematically and with some of the plot points. So it's definitely possible. Xehanort will probably be Master of Masters as well. That would be such a letdown. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think Xehanort is done. Like in the sense of he's done as the main antagonist. I don't think he's coming back. And I don't think Nomura is about to make him the Master of Masters. That would be a terrible decision. Terrible. I don't think he's going to do it. If he does, I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to be, I don't think they're going to be too happy about that. I know I won't be. I'll tell you that right now. Think about this. What if everyone in Quadratum are body snatchers, as in every being there are more like proxies for foreign hearts, like players controlling a character? What if everyone could draw him up? That would be interesting if everyone there had that ability. Like you're saying, as if it was just a regular thing everyone could do. Like they just walk around and it's just snatching bodies is just kind of part and parcel of their world. That would be interesting. That's the thing. We don't really know how it works. And I've mentioned that before in like the video I did on the Nameless Woman and stuff. We don't really know how that works or any of the logic or anything behind that. So it'd be interesting to know who can do it, who it's limited to. Like, for example, in Kingdom Hearts, in order to be able to, put your heart in someone else or remove your heart or time travel and a lot of these things, you'd need to have a Keyblade. So, and not everyone has a Keyblade. So, for example, like some random guy who's in Traverse Town, he can't just do a Xehanort and go travel back in time because he'd need to have a way to separate his heart from his body, and as a random dude, he probably doesn't have that ability. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know how in Unreality that body snatching thing works. I wonder if it's technological or not, because it seems like there's a lot of science going on over there. So I wonder if that's the reason. Hello, Crystal says, I just subscribed to your channel. Just wanting to say I love your content. I've been catching up on all your videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And comments like this is nice to see. I'm like, seriously, it's very, very nice to see comments where people are watching all my videos and trying to catch up and checking out my content. I do appreciate it very, very much. And again, I do thank all of you guys for being in here, and you could be anywhere. So to be in here talking, sharing theories, discussing things, I am glad that you guys are here to be are here doing that. So, seems like only hearts can make the trip if not using the power of waking. It is connected to what you said before. Every being more like a proxy for foreign hearts. Like, seems like only hearts can make the trip if not using the power of waking. I think I get what you're saying if it's in relation to Unreality. Maybe. I'm not sure. We just don't know enough about stuff and how it works, but yeah, it is I guess it's something to think about. Maybe the Nameless Star is Sora because Nameless Star is the player, hence why they're nameless. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the Nameless Star is the player. If you're are you referring to, I'm assuming you're referring to the player from Union Cross. See, like, there's a lot of theories people have about that, like, oh, the player could be in Unreality, or the player's like this person, or Luxord is the player, not Luxord, Demix is the player and things of that nature. Actually, people do say Locksword because he plays with cards and stuff like that. And I don't know. I'm of the opinion that I don't know what they're gonna do with the player in Union. Like, I genuinely have no idea because in some ways, like, where does the player fit in to Kingdom Hearts? Like, where does the player fit in? You know, I do think they could do something interesting with the player, but it has to be something that doesn't compromise the characterization, the customization that you have with the player. Because not everyone's player is the same. Like, the Nameless Star quite clearly seems to be like a woman, right? So not everyone's player is a woman. So it's like if the Nameless Star is a woman, that kind of detracts from the idea of the player being anyone. Like, I can have my own player, you can have your own player. I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like they shouldn't make it like fixed and have a face to them, but I don't know. I think there's clever ways they could implement the player into Kingdom Hearts whilst maintaining the sort of like, I don't know how to use the word you use for it, but the fact that it's kind of just the neutrality of the character, or the universal kind of nature of the character. I think there's ways it could be done. Do you think a Princess of Darkness exists? Interesting question. I don't think it's impossible, but it's interesting we haven't seen that though. You'd think that that's something you'd see by now, but we haven't seen it yet. So I'm not sure. But I don't think it's impossible. You think the copyright of Virum Rex and Yozora belongs to? I personally think it could maybe belong only to Square Enix. Oh, who do I think that the copyright of it belongs to? I personally think it could belong only to Square Enix, so they could make a game in an extended metaverse where Disney couldn't meddle. Well, here's what's funny. So, in Toy Box, Virum Rex, it only has Square Enix's logo on it. It doesn't have Disney's logo on it. So, I guess that's implying that, it's got nothing to do with Disney, but that also implies that Square Enix could be in existence in unreality, which is why I said earlier, I wonder if Square Enix, like actual Square Enix, is going to be on the other side. That would be crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that would be nuts. And I haven't seen as many people really think about that, but I think that could be the case, and that would be bizarre. What do you think is going to happen in the end of Union Cross? Oh, there's a lot of things that could happen. There's a lot of different things that could happen. So that's a difficult one to answer with complete confidence, because there's a lot of different things that could happen with it. I guess, for starters, I definitely think that Brain and Ephema, something's going to happen to them in some regard where they're not going to end up using the arcs. I'm going to assume like Brain's either going to stay behind to build Scala, or something of that nature. Now, Ephema's the one that's interesting because he appears in the Keyblade Graveyard in Kingdom Hearts 3. So it's like, what happens with him? There have been people that have said in the comments on some of my videos that he might stay in the Unchained realm and project himself through dreams into the future, and that's why he appears. I think that's a very interesting idea. So that could be one thing that happens with Ephema. The alternative is that he dies, or something of that nature, But as someone did say earlier, characters in Kingdom Hearts don't tend to die. But I don't know. All those kids from Union, from Unchained Key that were in the Keyblade War, I mean, they're technically dead in a sense. They could be the hearts in the final world, but I don't know. But yeah, I think that Ephema and Brain, something's gonna happen to them to not end up in the present day. The rest of them, we know they end up in the present day. I'm not entirely sure what happened with all of them, except Scold. I'm pretty confident is going to end up. We know that she gets replaced. She ends up in the present day and she loses her memories, and I'm pretty confident she's going to replace Alva. I've just got a feeling Lucio is setting her up to be the new leader of Volpez, because Alva's not around. And there was so many different lines said there was like in Unchained and in Union, there were two different points where she was told she's just like Ava, and I don't think that's by accident. I don't think it's by accident that the person she's, and someone pointed out in my comments as well. I didn't even know this. Someone pointed out in my comments as well that when in Union, when they all go to the table, right, where they all sit down, that she sits in the same place that Ava used to sit. So that's even more, pointing towards it. Who would the Princess of Darkness be? As cool as that idea is, I don't think Disney would ever let their princesses be evil. Yeah, I don't think Disney would allow it. But again, if there's mirrors to everything from the Kingdom Hearts universe in Unreality, are there mirrors to the princesses of Heart, the princesses of Light? If there is, maybe that's where you'd get your princesses of darkness. You know what I mean? Like maybe the Final Fantasy characters would be that, like I'm playing Final Fantasy X right now. Maybe Yuna would be a princess. I mean, would they be princesses of darkness? I don't know. I don't know enough about Final Fantasy X, so don't say anything. But I doubt it. I don't know. It's difficult to think that that's possible. But the Final Fantasy characters could mirror the Disney princesses in some way, but I'm not sure. I don't think Nomura is salty necessarily, but I do believe this is what he means by a fantasy based on reality. Viren Rex is very much based on the Final Fantasy versus 13 become 15 story. I mean, there's definitely that whole fantasy based on reality thing definitely has a new kind of, layer of paint on it now, considering that now we've seen Viren Rex, and with Viren Rex, you can see with Shibuya, which is a real place. I mean, like all of the stuff that they're doing in that commercial, all the fighting, right? All of the stuff where all that technology they've got, all the magic, that's fictional, right? Now Shibuya is reality. Shibuya is a real place, but all the things they're doing there is fiction for like fantastical abilities. That's not real. If we went to Shibuya right now, you're not going to see Yozora, swinging through and the Nameless Star shooting a pink. I mean, I hope you wouldn't see that. I really hope you wouldn't, because I'm not trying to stick around if I see that. I don't know about you, but I'm out of there if I see that. But I'm just saying, who knows? Who knows? It's not impossible. But yeah, I do think the whole fantasy based on reality thing is, now that Viren Rex is a thing, I think it's got a bit like some new weight to it. I'm just not sure about how far Nomura wants to go with versus 13 and 15. But this is the thing. He is I can see him making some connection between it. You know what I mean? Like I can see why you think that. Like I can see a reason for him to do it. Like I can see it for sure. Especially where he had Somnus playing in the original ending, and Somnus is in Final Fantasy 15. It wasn't just in Versus, like it's actually an official part of Final Fantasy 15. So, and he did have that track basically playing in the original ending of Kingdom Hearts 3 when Yozora was shown. So, yeah, 15 may be a natural part of Viren Rex. I think it'd be a bit of a missed opportunity if it wasn't, when I think about it. Fairy Godmother seems to be more powerful than we first thought. She was able to enter the final world and retain her own heart and appearance. Yeah, and she was able to do it for Kairi and Riku as well. So, will she be more important in the future of Phase 2? I'm not sure. Maybe. She knew who the Nameless Star was to an extent, like she knew of her, even though no one else did. And you just got to wonder, like, how long has she known that? Like how much does she know? But then again, it's her business to know about dreams, and she said that the Nameless Star has a very strong, powerful dream, something to that effect. So I guess that might be the reason she knows. So it'd be interesting. And if Yozora has got power over dreams in some way, which it seems like he does, then maybe the Fairy Godmother will be quite important. At the end of Union Cross and Dark Road will be a setup for the next pay-to-win mobile game that will have crucial story for Kingdom Hearts Phase 3. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe. It seems kind of funny to think that they're just going to leave the mobile games, like from a business perspective. I'm not sure. I don't know what it's saying for them, like financially, but I don't know how much they were getting out of it. But you'd think, because I know mobile games are a big deal in Japan, That's why gacha games tend to be quite popular. Like they're doing it with Nier. You know, for those of you who know about Nier, Nier's got a gacha game now. You know, and only Japan can play it. God damn it. Um, but a lot of people are upset about gacha games and things of that nature. And so with Union Cross and Dark Road, I'm not sure. Like, will they just completely throw mobile away for Kingdom Hearts and not do another one? I don't know. It does seem like they might come with another one, but I wonder what that game story would be if they did do it. Or they might go the MMO route. That's possible. Now that Genshin Impact has been really successful, they might be looking over there like, we could do that. I don't know. There was a rumor that said the Japanese voice actress for Nameless Star is also, yeah, I heard about that. The same voice actress for Versus 13 Stellar. Yeah, I heard about that as well. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just more confirmation that she's meant to be a reimagining of Stellar in some regard. I'm just not sure how far it goes, but it's definitely pretty much aligned with what most of us are already thinking. Sora mentioned that goal to Yozora and he didn't flinch. I think Yozora was just looking for Sora to complete a task or dream given to him by fate. Well, there's a whole interesting thing I wanted to actually bring up to do with that. So I'm going to go through you guys' comments, but here's something for you guys to think about as I go down. Who do you guys think told Yozora to save Sora? Because he says someone told him to save Sora, right? Now, there's another part to this I'm going to bring up because a lot of people miss it, even though they don't miss it, but they don't connect it to what he says the way they should. But who do you guys think he's referring to when he says that he was told to save Sora? I'm not sure. Just as full disclosure, I have no idea exactly. Like, I have my own little thoughts, but I'm not really sure. But you guys let me know what you think. That new Disney movie, Raya, made me think of such a possibility because there's a scene where the character gives into rage. Interesting. I haven't seen Raya. I haven't seen it yet. But that does seem like something they would put in Kingdom Hearts. That looks blatantly like a Kingdom Hearts, world just waiting to happen. Did you see Game Theory's vid on the Frozen world for Kingdom Hearts? You know what's funny? YouTube literally recommended that to me just before I started this stream. But no, I have not seen it. I know which video you're talking about, though, to do with the world, the Frozen world or Frozen level we'll never get to play or something like that. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but you're saying that it sums up how Disney meddling ruined a potentially brilliant world or story. Well, that's a shame to hear, because I think a lot of us know Frozen was one of the more unpopular worlds of Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I mean, like, the part where you had to run through, what was it? You had to climb these ice walls, and then there was a part where you had to find all the bits of Olaf. Oh my gosh. Let's not even think about that right now. Let's not. Let's not. Yeah, let's not. And I was hoping, Elsa would be like a proper Disney World boss battle, but it did have one of the best boss battles. I will say that in the game, like one of the best Heartless boss battles. Anybody here read the Kingdom Hearts manga? Some wild stuff in there, like when Sora gets an invitation from a prostitute in Traverstown. I've heard about it. I haven't read it really much myself, but I've heard about that, about how the prostitute propositions him and stuff. And yeah, I heard that there's some really odd stuff there. There's some really interesting things. Do you think that Quadratum is an alternate universe to that of the Kingdom Hearts series? Love your content. Keep up the hard work. Thank you very much, Steffi. Do I think Quadratum is an alternate universe? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'm partial to a different idea, but I do I'm kind of half and half on it. I think it's possible that it's an alternate universe, but I also think it's possible that it's I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to think about it a bit more. But yeah, if Square Enix is in unreality, maybe their CEO could be an actual character in the game, like in Nier Automata, as that one secret boss. Yeah, the DLC boss in Nier Automata. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm not saying it's out of the realm possibility for Kingdom Hearts to do that. But Nier, look, Nier has Yoko Taro as its director, okay? And Yoko Taro is a madman. Now, I know Nomura is a madman, but Yoko Taro is a madman. you know. So he would do something like if you guys don't know anything about Drakengard, don't know anything about Drakengard. It's gonna you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Trust me. I mean, you do want to know, but you don't. Particularly Drakengard 1. You don't want to know about it. Let's just say that Yokotaro goes some crazy places with his mind. I'll say that. Some very, very crazy places. If you think Square Enix as an entity exists in Quadratum, would Disney exist in that world as well? See, I think that if it does exist, it's possible it exists in a sort of like a reference way. Like it exists, like you might see Disney posters, or there might be like a Disney store somewhere, or something like that, which would be nuts. Um, like we have that in real life, but from Kingdom Hearts, like to be playing a Kingdom Hearts game, walking around and seeing people, like imagine people wearing Disney merchandise, dressing up as Disney princesses and stuff. That would be crazy. Like that's what happens in our world. And again, as people have pointed out, Verum Rex is a reimagining of Versus, and Versus is a fantasy based on reality, and our reality is that Disney is fictional. So I don't know. Last point, maybe. Remember the cutscene is called Falsus Rex, fake King Yozora being the king, but the foreign heart residing in him, making him fake. Yes. I completely agree. I forgot about that when I made my video on Yozora's true form, but I did write it in the comments. But yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, the cutscene's literally called Falsus Rex, which, like you say, it translates to false, fake king. So that's kind of interesting that it's basically telling us that whoever he is not real. It's kind of fake, and then he does tell us that he's not the person we see, stuff like that. So Riku, you think Riku's the one that told Yozora to save Sora? Okay. I'm going to go through those answers, and I'm going to address them. Do you think Lee will continue his trading with Aqua 2? Maybe. It's not impossible. I mean, he seems to be kind of I don't know. He seems like now that he's got his trio back, like he was hanging with Kyrie, but then it's like, my boy Roxas is back, my girl Shion's back. I don't really, it's like he was kind of hanging with Kyrie, probably thought, it's like having Shion. Well, he didn't remember Shion at that point, I don't think, but still, it's kind of, it's like he's got his friend, but now he's got Shion back and he's got Roxas back, and it's like, I'm good. I got my peoples, you know what I mean? I'm good. But maybe it's not impossible. To answer the question, either Fate, Luxord, or the Master of Masters, I would really like if it were Alva though. Okay. Interesting suggestions. Is it possible for us to get another game for exploring other aspects of the realm of darkness or dark world, or are we sick of it already? Well, I can't speak for anyone else. But if you saw my video where I spoke about the Wayfinder trio, I'm all for having more story related to the realm of darkness, because I think it could be very interesting with the Wayfinder trio being in the realm of darkness because of, as I say in that video, because of their connection and relationship with darkness. All three of them have been, possessed and fallen to darkness at some point. And Ventus literally has this entire story going on that's not resolved yet to do with darkness, and he's in the realm of darkness. Like, are you telling me he's going to be in the realm of darkness and nothing is going to happen? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. So I think it's very possible that we will be exploring other aspects of it. So, but if whether or not people are sick of it or not, I can't answer that. Most likely a two-part message. Watching your Mickey's Bizarre Visit to Daybreak Time Explained video got me thinking, what if Kingdom Hearts Union is actually a sequel to Kingdom Hearts 3? Well, the people who think the Master of Masters is Sora would definitely like that idea. But I don't know. I doubt it, because Darkness says to Maleficent that she needs to go to the future and she's in the past. So that seems, and also the Book of Prophecies projects people from the future. So I doubt it. I don't think that's very likely. Um, so more than likely, it's not a sequel. But interesting idea. What's your second comment saying? After all, Kingdom Hearts Key's secret ending, which leads into features Maleficent boasting about how Sora and his gang will never find her here. Curious what your thoughts on that. Yeah, she says that because that's her being sent back to the past, right? So that was like kind of explained in Union. At the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, when it seemed like she was dead or whatever, and remember when she came back and no one understood why she was back because we thought she was gone. So that's what Union is trying to explain. Her, between the time when she's gone after Kingdom Hearts 1 and when she comes back, she's basically in the Daybreak Town, and she's trapped there because the Master of Masters guessed she might try to go as far back in time as possible so that she could basically rewrite all of her defeats, and she ends up trapped in Daybreak Town. And everything that we've seen in Union is basically what follows. And she uses an arc and ends up in the future. And, you know, I'm not sure exactly where she ends up when she uses the arc, but she ends up somewhere that leads to her appearing again. And that's how she gets back into the main games. I think either the Master of Masters or the Nameless Star told Yozora to save Sora. The Nameless Star knew our Sora, but our Sora never introduced himself to her at the final world. Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, he didn't introduce himself to her. I've watched the cutscene a couple of times. I was like, maybe I'm just missing it. He never introduces himself as Sora, but she knows. Now, I don't know if that was just an oversight where they didn't realize, because, you know, Sora usually does always introduce himself. I mean, even on Sora's side, that was kind of rude. When does Sora never say, I'm Sora? You know, I mean, he never even introduced himself. So that's kind of odd. It's kind of odd. I wonder why she knew his name, even though he never, like, I wonder if that's an actual thing or if it's just an oversight. Because if it's not an oversight, oh man, if it's not an oversight, you gotta wonder why she knows his name. But I think it could be an oversight. So don't get your hopes up too much that it means something. But it's yeah, it's possible. Because at the end of the day, she knew who Sora was and she didn't know his name. The Master of Masters and Sora could be the same. Add a little Yozora in it too. Well, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross could still be a sequel, but in the past, gotta love Kingdom Hearts a lot. I could see Scarlet having some wacky time-shifting, reality warping kind of power. Yeah, maybe. Again, it's just odd because, again, even with Xemnas, when he says to them that they have an ancient, he says to Demyx, Luxord, you know, he says to them that they have an ancient Keyblade legacy. So I just have to wonder, like, is it likely that it's going to be a sequel? You know what I mean? How likely is it that that's really the case? And I'm not sure if they'd want to super complicate things further by doing it like that. But I don't know. But seems like, unless, I'm sure there's probably maybe more comments that's going to load in, I don't know. But for the moment, seems like that's it. So I'm going to talk about something. So I was asking you guys who you think told Yozora to save Sora, right? Now, I don't have a clear-cut answer on this, but I have some thoughts on it that I never really put into videos before because I only thought of it recently. And I'd like to see what you guys think about this. So Yozora says, right, that he was told to save Sora, right? But you know what? Let's make this a little bit more interesting. Let me go and actually pull up the video. So he says that he was told to save Sora, but before he says that, he says, I accidentally wandered into this place and went through some trials. Then I was told to save Sora. So that means that after he wandered into this place, that's when he was told to save Sora. So bearing in mind, when he says that, they're in, you know, this dream Shibuya type of thing. Because I don't think that's the real Shibuya, but I don't know. But it definitely seems like a dream type of place because they were in the night version of the final world, and then all of a sudden they're in Shibuya. You know what I mean? So it just seems like it's some kind of dream type of version of Shibuya or something. I'm not really sure. So, and again, a lot of people think The World Ends With You is going to connect like with stuff. And the last time we saw The World Ends With You characters, it was in Dream Drop Distance, so a game all about dreams. So it's not outside the realm of possibility for it to be that Shibuya is a dream Shibuya of some sort. Let me just try and find this scene. I'm struggling to find it right now. Where is it? Is it Sora and Crystal? Blah blah blah. Yeah, he said that he was to save Sora. Hold on, I need to just find a proper video of this. And but it's when he's in the final world. So when people say that they think Riku told him, because a lot of people have that opinion, how I don't see how Riku could have been the one to tell him if he only got told. Okay. I think my connection's back. Yeah, I know it cut out. Yeah, I noticed. Okay, I think it's back. Guys, let me know if you could hear me. Sorry about that. Cut out for a moment. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. Should be back now. Okay, thank you. All right, good. It's fixed. Right, thank you. Yeah, so I'm not sure what you guys heard me say last, but yeah, basically, you know, he says that he was in that place when he was told to save Sora, right? So I'm just thinking who could be in that place with him to tell him that. You know what I mean? I don't think it's Locksword. And also another reason I don't think it's I don't think it's Locksword because Locksword is his driver and Locksword is with him when he wakes up. So Locksword couldn't be in the place where he was told, if you get what I'm saying, you know? Like Locksword wasn't with him in there. And Locksword, this is another interesting thing. Some people said to me before that they think whoever told him to save Sora basically gave him an order, like it was a mission he has. But Yozora's a commander, assuming like even if that's not him, the role he's in right now in that body, he's a commander, right? So would Locksword as his driver be able to give him an order? You know what I mean? Like as a commander, like how's Locksword gonna tell him what to do? You know, like that doesn't seem likely. And then Riku, I mean, who's Riku to tell him what to do? You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't seem to me like those two people are as likely, you know. And even if you remove the whole commander thing, I mean, you shouldn't because it is part of it. But even if you forget about that for a second, he literally tells us that he accidentally wandered into this place, bearing in mind he's in the dream Shibuya. And I'm just calling it the dream Shibuya because I don't know what it is. But he says that he was told to save Sora. So let me pull up someone's video so I can just show you guys, and then we can kind of have a look at it, and you guys can kind of see what it is. I mean, you guys know as much as I know. You've seen all the footage, but it's still good to put it there so you can just see it anyway. So let's see. I'm going to read you guys chats as well real quickly. I'd really like to see someone who knows Japanese translate the Nameless Star Sea in Final World. Kingdom Hearts 3 had some localization inconsistencies, and it'd be interesting to see if there's differences. Not sure. The Ancient Keyblade Legacy thing was a mistrial. Yeah, I've heard people say that, and it annoys me. I've heard people say that, but it's like, when I need it, I can't find what the original. But here's the thing. even if it's a mistranslation, it's like by how much? Like how much did it really miss the mark? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Larxene and Marluxia, they are from an ancient time period at the end of the day. And Marluxia does have a Keyblade, making him an ancient Keyblade wielder. We haven't seen Larxene's yet, but it's like, even if that's a mistranslation, it still makes sense anyway. So it's like, how much of a mistranslation was it really? Same thing applies with the Master of Masters in the epilogue. Yensid didn't say the Keyblade Masters, he said a Keyblade. Yeah, that's another one I've seen as well. Okay, I don't think it was Riku. It must be the Master of Masters or someone higher. The somebody that the Nameless Star mentioned. Possibly. I'm more, if I was going to pick someone that we know, I think it could be the Master of Masters, just because it seems like he's manipulating people. I could so easily see him being like this enigmatic figure in unreality that Yozora is like, who are you? And the Master of Masters is like manipulating him, like, if you want this to work, you're gonna need to do this, or like I could so easily see it being something like that. Just tell us, I'm dying. Something bugs me though. Yozora went through trials, right, in the Dream Realm. Is that potential micro mastery probably from the Master of Masters? I don't know. Some people think the trials is the Reaper's game. I do not know enough about the World Ends With You to say anything for or against that. But I've seen people talk about it being the Reaper's game from the World Ends With You. I'm not sure. You guys can tell me, if those of you who know more about the World Ends With You, you could say what you think, but I'm not sure about it. I do think it's possible the trials is related to what we saw in the commercial though, where he was trying to save the Nameless Star. I do think that could be part of it, but I have no idea. And another thing as well, like, is that mini game we get for the Viren Rex world. Like, how does that tie into it? Like, why is there a mini game? Like, why can we just go into the Viren Rex world at will? Like, have you guys ever thought about that? Don't you think that's kind of odd? I know it's probably just a fun mini game, but I don't know. Seems a bit, might be something to think about. Okay, let me try and find this. Blah blah. Got this. Let me full screen this. Oh no, let's not do it like that. Let's not do it like that at all. So, hold on, let me get this, full screen this. Okay, so you guys can see it properly. Right, so, okay. Gonna take this off the screen, get this off the screen so you guys can see the subtitles. I'm not sure if I put the audio in. Hold on. Let me make sure I put the audio in. Hold on, let me do that again. Because I want you guys to be able to, hear something. So I'm going to share the audio. Okay. So I'm not going to play it too loud. Hopefully you guys can hear it though fine. So shout out to all the YouTubers that upload these cutscenes for people like me to sponge off of, so I can easily talk about it in streams like this. Thank you very much. Okay. So I'm just gonna, let's just watch the whole scene. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm not gonna watch the whole scene because it might be too choppy. But we'll start from when they actually meet each other. Apologies if there's anything wrong with it, quality wise. Let me know in the chat, guys. Okay, let me know.
I see you.
Let me know if you can hear it. You should be able to.
Hey, aren't you?
You know me?
Yeah, you're Yozora, right?
How do you know that? Who are you?
I'm Sora. And actually, there's something I have to ask you.
Sora? You're Sora?
Huh? You know who I am?
Sure. I've heard of you.
If you're here, then this can't be the real world, can it? But wait, that girl, she told me about you. Maybe you are real after all.
Are you done? No, this isn't the real world, and I am here. But this isn't what I really look like. How'd you recognize me as Yuzora?
Huh?
Why are you using Sora's name?
Because I am Sora.
If you are who you say, and it was fate that brought us here, then my path is clear.
What? Hey! Wait!
I accidentally wandered into this place and went through some trials. Then, I was told to save Sora.
Huh? Then what's with the weapon?
Time to end this.
So, I'm pretty sure you guys heard all of that. You guys have seen the scene, I'm sure, 1,001 times anyway. But now, since you had a refresher, we can talk about this. So you heard him say it yourself, just there's a refresher. He says that yeah, I noticed that a bit. But he says himself, you know, I accidentally wandered into this place and went through some trials. Then I was told to save Sora. Now, the thing that, again, like I say, you saw what happens. He summons the kind of, I don't know if he summons it. I don't know why it goes from the Dark Unite Final World to Shibuya, but it looks like he willed it into being like that, you know. But it's interesting that he says, I accidentally wandered into this place, like as if he doesn't know what the place is. You know, like, is he talking about Shibuya, or is he talking about the fact that it's the night version of the final world? I have no idea. Now, in terms of who I think, like I said, I think the most likely person that told him to save Sora out of people we know would be the Master of Masters. But, and that's because we did see the Master of Masters in Shibuya specifically, right? And that's important because if the Shibuya is some sort of dream Shibuya or something like that, but we saw the Master of Masters there, well, we know that he's there for sure. We don't know if Luxord's there, you know, and we don't know if Riku is there. Riku is in Shinjuku. He wasn't in Shibuya. So I don't know, you know, but Shibuya and Shinjuku, they're both districts, so I have no idea. But it's really confusing because the actual cities themselves, like the locations, they're confusing as well. So it's hard to really make out how it all kind of ties together. But it just seems to me for sure that whoever would have told Yuzora to save Sora is someone that would have to have been in that dream reality. Wherever the final world is, whatever that place is, they'd have to have been in there with him, you know. That's just how it seems. Like, it doesn't seem like it could have been anyone from outside of that, such as Luxord. Luxord's in the car when he wakes up. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't Luxord have been in the dream with him if he was the one that told him to save Sora, is what I'm trying to get at. Same thing with Riku. But Riku was kind of in the dream with him in the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret ending, but they didn't interact, right? At least as far as we know, because Riku said he saw a figure looking down at him, and that was it. He never said, oh, I met this guy, and blah, blah, blah. He just said the figure was looking down at him. So it seems like that's about as far as it goes. So whoever told Yuzora to save Sora, it seems like it had to have been someone that was in the dream realm with him. And who would be in the dream realm that would know Kingdom Hearts Sora? I don't know. You know, it's very odd. It's very odd. That's why I have the whole theory about it being a Sora he knows, because the other part of it is that his reaction to the name Sora is so strong. He has this strong emotional reaction to the name Sora. Like, it's not just some name. Like when he hears the name Sora, he's like, Sora, you're Sora, you know, and then he kind of settles back. But it's not even just that. It's also the way he clenches his fist, right? In the bad ending, when he defeats Sora, the way how he kind of touches the crystal in like this almost, caring manner. And he's like, I will save you. I don't know. It just seems like whoever's this. Let's put it this way: if it is somehow Kingdom Hearts Sora, then there's a reason why he has some strong emotional connection to Kingdom Hearts Sora. But then, how could he have a strong emotional connection to Kingdom Hearts Sora, but he didn't recognize who he was, and then he was shocked and almost offended that he was using the name Sora? I don't know. Just makes it really difficult for me to believe that it's Kingdom Hearts Sora. Okay, let me go back up and go through you guys' comments. So, okay, I read this one already. I feel like you're going to say Joshua told you Sora to save Sora. No. But you know what? That's possible. That's possible. That fits. With what I just said, that fits. That does fit. Because if the Shibuya is a dream Shibuya, that fits. Joshua knows Sora, and he would be in Shibuya, right? That fits. So even though that was not what I was going to say, that is a good idea. So I guess technically I am potentially saying it now, but I don't know if it would be him. But it's not impossible. It's just that, again, like my only issue with the idea that someone told Zora to save Kingdom Hearts Sora specifically, like let's say it's Joshua, and Joshua says, you need to save Sora, right? For starters, why does Zora need to do that? Like, for what? What did he gain out of saving Sora? Why should he care, right? And then even if he was told to do that, it's just like, why doesn't he know who he is? Like, why doesn't he recognize him? At the very least, as soon as he saw his Keyblade, he should have known for sure who he was. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. It's just like, why doesn't he recognize him if he was sent to save him specifically? And if anyone like Riku or Joshua told him, why didn't they tell him what Sora looks like? Just makes it really hard for me to believe that he's meant to be saving Kingdom Hearts Sora. It just doesn't seem like he knows who he is, And the thing is, we do know he's meant to be saving the Nameless Star, and we do know that her name is missing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And the thing is, it's not just that her name's missing; her name is taken from her. And Yuzora says, why are you using Sora's name? Like, when you take something from someone, right? Like, I don't know, let's think of a weird thing. Like, if you have a cup of something and you were using the cup, and then I take the cup from you, well, you're not using it anymore. Let's say I start using it now. You know what I mean? It's like, now that I've taken the cup from you, I'm the one who's using it. I possess it now. So if it's just the words being used fit. She says her name's taken. Yuzora says to Sora, why are you using Sora's name? Like, why would he think someone else would be using the? I don't know. It's just too many signs. Maybe I'm just too attached to it, but the thing is with me is I don't just stick to theories. If I see tons of evidence against them, I'll just give it up. But I keep finding more things to just convince me that it is that. If it isn't, then fair enough. But then I have to wonder, what on earth is her name? Some people think it's Stella or Hoshi. I don't know. I'm not sure if Nomura would use the name Stella again. I'm not sure. I mean, Riku in Kingdom Hearts 1 said there can't be two Keyblade Masters, but he actually said there can't be two heroes of the Keyblade, which now in context changes a lot. Yeah. So we have Keyblade Masters as concept now. Yeah, that's true. But with like, like, I mean, what he says is just factually incorrect. Because at the end of the day, 10 years before they were running around with Keyblades, the Birth by Sleep trio were all heroes of the Keyblade, and Ericus was there as well. You know, I mean, Xehanort and Vanitas were not heroes, but, well, I mean, depending on your opinion, some people might say Xehanort was the hero of Kingdom Hearts, but, you know. But the point is that there were other, and then of course there's Union, where there was hundreds of people that had Keyblades. So what you said about possible relationship between the Master of Masters and Yuzora is what I imagine is actually the case. Or maybe possibly they are the same person, two hearts in one, like Terranort situation. And a lot of people think that Yuzora, the body that we see him in that looks like Riku, a lot of people think, I say a lot of people, some people think that that's the Master of Masters' original body. I kind of like the idea. I'm not sure how likely it is though, but I kind of like it. Okay, I'm probably coming now. Okay, thank you for coming. Thanks to everyone else. Anyone who I might get to your comment late if you say bye, but thank you for coming and stopping by, even if it's only for like a few minutes. Thanks to everyone who does come in and have something to say. Yuzora has the power of sleeping, while Sora has the power of waking. Yep, that's what I mentioned in my video where I was talking about the truth about Yuzora versus Sora. So they both are like mirrors, which Rex kept being persistent about. Yep, it does imply that as well. Do you think the whole Kingdom Hearts series is a chess theory? It makes sense watching Ericus tell Xehanort while they are playing chess, Ericus is setting us up for Kingdom Hearts 4. I don't know if it's you who's commented that before or someone else, but I've seen that before. This idea that I guess like Kingdom Hearts is kind of like sort of the chess game that's being played, and in a weird way it is, you know, in a weird way it kind of is. And this kind of relates to what I was saying towards the start of the stream when I said that if I had to pick which side I think is more likely to be fiction, I think it's Kingdom Hearts. I really do. I think Kingdom Hearts' reality is more likely to be the one that's the unreality, the fictional universe. And I'll get to that in a minute. I'm just going to read a few more views, but I'll explain why I think that. And it's not really a crazy idea. It's actually very closely linked to canon. Maybe the mini game was young Xehanort kind of warning Sora of events to come. Yeah, I don't know. Like when he throws Sora into that world, like how does that even work? You know what I mean? Like where did Sora go when he got thrown in there? Like if you guys remember in Toy Box, young Xehanort flings Sora into where is that? Like, what happened there? You know what I mean? Like that seems very odd, and it's never explained. He just jumps back out of the screen, like he just jumps out. Like, so what? Can he just jump into the screen and jump? Like, what is that? Is that like a data world based off of unreality? You know, like it's very odd, and it also ties to Xehanort knowing about unreality, right? So very interesting. And also what's funny is that when Sora throws him in there and he ends up going through the screen, the first thing young Xehanort says to him is, haven't you heard? In this world, you come from a video game. Now, I do think he's talking about the Toy Box world, but it's just funny that it's after he ends up in a video game that he says, haven't you heard? In this video game. I don't know. That could be a slight, maybe no more, because we wouldn't think Vir and Rex was a real place. You know what I mean? But like, we wouldn't think that unreality and Yuzora. We just thought it was video game stuff. Like we didn't think that's gonna be like, you know. I don't know. Sora plus Yuzora equals the Master of Monsters, possibly. Sounds fine. Okay, yeah, it was about earlier. What's the meaning of Sora's dive to Heart Glass being shown? I don't know, Tezor. I really don't know. Again, some people think that's heavily implying that Yuzora and Sora are like the same person or they're mirrors of each other. Like it, I don't know. I just really can't figure some of this stuff out. Obviously, I make a lot of theories and I have a lot of ideas, but it's like I have to think about things. Some things are easier to put together than others. Some things just come to me immediately, but there's things like that I've just never really addressed because I don't really know. It's like Luxord and Demix. Like I've seen loads of people have theories about them, and I've looked at some, but it's just like I can't really pick something to stand on. I just don't know. Like I really don't know what the heck is going on with them. I just don't know. Straightforward. Luxord was defeated in Kingdom Hearts 3. Isn't it more likely to think that your Zora's driver is Lux or somebody? No, yeah, I definitely think that's the case. I definitely think it's Lux or somebody. Was thinking about what the Nameless Star said. His heart replaced with another. It makes me think Zora might have some kind of connection with Brave before Lucio. Maybe. Again, we don't even know where that body came from, the Braig body, right? Like we still don't know. And again, I think Dark Road might explain it, but I don't know. I'm not sure where Braig even came from. You know, how did Lucio even that body? Somebody still that somebody stole, but Zora has to still. Zora was yeah, like it's yeah, he like sort of seems or whatever. It definitely seems like there's some sort of some type of something. Like how can he copy a Keyblade? You know, like interesting. It's very interesting. Because the Keyblade's supposed to be a power. I know now, like everyone and their grandmother, everyone their grandmother's getting a Keyblade, you know, because grandmother Arthur, you know, okay, maybe not, but you know, everyone their grandmother's getting a Keyblade. So I think it's very possible that it's just kind of interesting that everyone kind of has a Keyblade, but then at the same time, or the Keyblade's meant to be a power not everyone has, is what I'm trying to say. But then at the same time, Yuzora just copies the Keyblade like it's nothing. You know, we don't even know what his powers are. Like, what's that weird disco ball attack he has? And you know what I mean? Like, he does a whole bunch of things. It's like, what are these abilities? Where are they coming from? You know, so there's just a lot of things we don't know. Possibly being Braig before Lucio. Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with that. Also, something else that makes me confused is the fact of Braig's eyes. On Birth by Sleep, Braig's first appearance shows his eyes being brown. Is that the case? I don't remember. But Braig's eyes in Birth by Sleep's first appearance shows his eyes being brown. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So, I don't know. Maybe Xehanort, maybe the Xehanort kind of the where where he says I'm already half Xehanort. Maybe that hadn't happened yet. I'm not sure. Because there's a few things. By the time we see Braig in Birth by Sleep, there's a few things that haven't happened yet. Like for example, he's still got both his eyes and things like that. So I don't know. Although after his aggressive conversation with Xehanort and after the battle, his eyes turn yellow. Yeah, yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe it's something that happened. I don't agree. You're making the assumption that the trials had to all be faced in succession without breaks between trials. Trials that seem to take place within Yuzora's dreams, like in the cutscene. Yeah, but the thing is, I get what you're saying. You're saying that he could have accidentally wandered into this place, gone through some trials, then woken up, and then someone could have told him to save Sora, right? I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to say. You know, but I don't know. It's just the way he says it. The chronology he's speaking in. He says, "I accidentally wandered into this place and went through some trials. Then I was told to save Sora." So if I'm taking him at his words of how he's described it, he's put it across like he wandered into this place and then he wandered into this place, went back and forth, and then found out. But I could be wrong. Kind of like Luna Freya, Final Fantasy 15. Took Stellars versus 13. Yeah, I've seen people say that. You're breaking up. Okay, laters. All right, cool. See you later. for saying that stream. And yeah, not sure when I'll get around to making a Discord server, but it's definitely something I'm keeping in mind. How was young Xehanort even aware of the Viren Rex game universe at all? Remember how Sora said they split the world in two? The only way I can see young Xehanort knowing about it is because Terranort did. Yeah, that's what like I'm thinking. It's like, you know, like how does he know? You know, the thing is, Xehanort knows something, right? So I would assume that young Xehanort would get that information as well. Like he'd have that information passed on to him. I'm just not sure. I don't know. I'm just not sure how he, like, why there was a game. Like, here's a question as well. It's something I haven't made a video on, but it's something I've been trying to consider. Like, who made the Viren Rex video game, right? Like, who even made the game at all? That's something I've been trying to think about as well. I guess it seems like it would be Xehanort or young Xehanort, but I can't say. But it seems that way. Which character you would like to see playing a bigger role in Phase 2? Kyrie. Easily. Kyrie. You know, easy option to say, but you know, I feel as though even though Aqua is my favorite Kingdom Hearts character, which you know, I feel as though Aqua, she's had a decent amount of screen time, and she's had her moments. You know, Kyrie is literally like one of the OG characters, and I feel as though she still needs to kind of have her time, and I don't feel like she's had it yet. So with her training under Aqua and stuff, I feel as though it should be her that gets a bit more, you know, of a bit more of that kind of, you know, center stage treatment. Maybe the Sora he was told to save was described by achievement and not necessarily appearance, e.g. he won a war. Yuzora's surprise might be because Sora is a kid and he didn't expect that. Yeah, I've seen that kind of idea before. I've seen someone actually say that to Yuzora, Sora could be like some like super ancient warrior or something, and that's why he's so shocked. That's possible. That is possible. And I think it could be the case. So it could be, you know, especially if I guess that kind of again that plays into the question of like, what is Kingdom Hearts in unreality? Is it a video game? Is it a book? Is it a myth? Is it some legends? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Because is it anything? Do they even know about it or not? It seems like with some of the symbols, like the crown being on the TV screen and some of those different things, it seems like there's some references to Kingdom Hearts in unreality, but we don't really know for 100% certain yet. So it's hard to tell. But yeah, it's possible. Do you think Xehanort will still have some role in the story after Dark Road? I hope not, certainly. But it seems like he might kind of have a role. Maybe not directly like as the antagonist, like, you know, he's not gonna have that role anymore. But he might have some type of role. Obviously not be the main villain anymore, but to flesh out unexplained arcs of Lucio Locksword. Maybe. But that, I don't know, Dark Road might do that, to be honest. I'm not sure. It depends on how much of his story they want to cover in Dark Road. Right now we're seeing him as a student, but who knows? They might show us more than that. They might show a lot more of the things that led to him in the present day. And I don't know, more than just that stuff. So, but yeah, I'm not sure, but it's possible. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up the stream soon because it's coming up in 2 hours, and for me, it's almost going to be 1 in the morning. I know a lot of you guys are at different times, but I'm curious, like, what some of you guys' thoughts are on a few things. Like, for example, what exactly do you think is the chances that Kingdom Hearts is, as I've kind of said a few times, what do you guys think is the chances that Kingdom Hearts is the fictional world rather than unreality? You know, like, what do you guys think are the chances that that's the case? Do you think that's likely, or do you think Kingdom Hearts is reality and Yuzora's world is the fiction? Let me know what you guys think on that. Isabel has a good point, and maybe Yuzora is seeing Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora or something. Huh. maybe. Again, it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like he just doesn't know who he is, though. And again, if he doesn't, then it might be because he's depicted different. He's seen a different depiction of him. That could be the reason why, but I'm not sure. Oh, Exen, you're still here. I believe that both exist, believing the other is their fictional counterpart. I think that is very, very likely the case. I think that's very possible. I really do. Because I think a lot of people are very certain one side is fictional or the other side is fictional. Now, I'm just saying if it is one or the other, I think it's Kingdom Hearts. If it's gonna have to be one or the other, I think Kingdom Hearts is the one. I don't think it's as likely to be unreality, is what I'm trying to say. So, but yeah, I'll wait to see if anyone else has any ideas on it. But I'm curious. I'm going to ask you guys a more general question. Because you guys, you're my viewers, you're my subscribers, and I don't really know much about any of you because I've never done live streams like this. So, you guys, if you feel like it, if you feel comfortable, you can tell me a bit about yourselves. Like, what kinds of games are you into other than Kingdom Hearts? What kind of hobbies do you guys have? What do you enjoy doing? Your free time? Stuff like that. Again, if you feel like it, you don't have to. I'm more than happy to keep talking about theories. But, I believe I've read that. I think Kingdom Hearts to Viren Rex is fiction. Viren Rex to Kingdom Hearts is fiction. Yeah, it's pretty much what we're saying. I agree. I think Kingdom Hearts is fiction. Steffi says, I love playing The Sims 4. I like The Sims 4 too. I like The Sims 4 as well. I like it as well. I used to time when I was younger, and I never used to understand how it seemed like such a difficult game. But I liked it as well. I got into it a bit more when I was a bit older, and it's fun. It's like a nice, relaxed game most of the time. Most of the time. When I was younger, the most exciting thing to me was just always throwing parties all the time. Like, that's all I would do. I used to hate all the micromanaging, like making the characters go to the toilet, and I hated that stuff. All I wanted was just party, 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 and party, and make them play video games and stuff. I can't wait for Nier Replicant. Love Yoko Taro games. Yep, I cannot wait for Nier Replicant. Yo, how many of you have played Nier Replicant? Have any of you played it, the original? Well, not Nier Replicant, but have any of you played Gusto or Replicant, the original game? If you have, let me know. I want to know how many people know about Nier, because I know most people here are here for Kingdom Hearts, but God, I love Nier so much. I can't even begin to express how much I love Nier. It's inspired me on so many levels. I love Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, JRPGs in general, but I love all types of games. The only ones I'm not biggest into are online multiplayer games or first-person shooter type games. Okay, yeah. I've noticed that a lot of people, like, I've generally, not with everyone, me, for example, I love first-person shooters, but I've noticed that a lot of people love like shooters, like friends that have RPGs, I can never get them onto a shooter, and then my friends that have that like shooters, I can't get them into a JRPG. Like, I'll tell them about a game, like, I mean, Kingdom Hearts, I guess some people might struggle to get into that, but I'll be like, play something else, like something that's like, Final Fantasy 15. They try to modernize that to bring in new people, and they're like, no, I'm not playing Final Fantasy. They see the chocobos and they just like, nah. They just like, there's a big bird. I'm riding around on a bird. I'm like, bruh, like that's the Final Fantasy experience. What do you mean? But it's just funny. Nier Replicant will be immaculate. Also, Returnal will be great if anyone else here has a PS5. Yeah, if you have a PS5, same with the Final Fantasy 7 DLC. Don't even get started on that. Jesus. Like, why would you make a DLC exclusive for a console that most people don't have access to? That makes zero sense. But, yeah, even so, Returnal does look good. And more. I really do. I mean, also, I actually have the next video I plan on doing is actually a video about Near Replicant and 2 things I'd like to see in it. So if any of you like Near, you might be interested in that video. Yep, that is right. Sims is gonna be a fun game, man. I like to play Fire Emblem. I have never played Fire Emblem, but I've heard a lot about it. I've never played it though, but I've heard a lot about Fire Emblem. Yes, I played Gestalt. Great. Gestalt that's why I played it. Great game, man. Like, it's funny. Like the original Nier, it's a bit, it's a bit rough around the edges. It's not that great in terms of on a technical aspect, but narrative wise, it's a great game. And this is why I'm excited for Replicant, and why a lot of you guys should be too, because you're gonna get the story of Replicant or Gestalt, but with some actual good gameplay this time. So, Mo's the Master Final Fantasy on my list. Yep, I think a lot of us in here are JRPG fans. It took me a while. Like I've always been MMOs are like hit and miss for me, man. Like sometimes I can get into them, and then it depends. I don't know. I do hear a lot of good things about Final Fantasy 14. I'm sure I'm gonna have my day with that game, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I mean, I'm just getting to Final Fantasy 10. Also love Drakengard. God, I hope they make more games like the first. Oh man, I don't think they could make games like that today, Tezor. I don't think it'd get greenlit. We can't talk about why, because it's we can't talk about it. We can't talk about it. But those who know. If you know, you know. And Drakengard, I don't think it can. God, I would love to see them remake that game, but I just I don't think it's gonna happen. I hope it does. But I do think I hope we get a Drakengard 4 at some point. And another thing to do with Drakengard as well, Nier and Drakengard, like at some point they need to connect, because for those of you that don't know, Nier is connected to Drakengard. I'm not going to explain how because it's spoilers, but you guys can find out. How am I liking Final Fantasy X? I am liking it. I haven't played very, very much of it so far. I think I just got past the part where Sin is attacking or whatever on the when you're on the ship, on the boat. I think I've just gone past that part. And I'm liking it so far. I'm really liking it. It's got some nice music. You know what I like about it is it just gives me that old school feel, that old school RPG feel. I mean, it came out in 2001. I didn't even realize that it's 10th anniversary this year. I just happened to start playing it this year, but yeah, it's fun so far. I can already tell. I could tell maybe in the first half an hour why so many people like it. It didn't take me long. Obviously I haven't fully played it to see, but I can see potential in it already. I can see, like, if I had bought it years ago and no one told me about it, I would be able to tell Final Fantasy X is probably going to be a game to remember. Like, I can usually sense that with a game early on. I play Final Fantasy 13 series. Yeah, I know you probably do, Horror Pill, because you always got that lore, that Final Fantasy 13 lore. Story is terrible. Lightning Returns has a great battle system. That's funny. You're like, I play Final Fantasy 13. Story terrible though. Yeah, I agree with you on Integrate. I think the DLC should be cross-gen. It doesn't make sense. I don't want to go on a whole tirade about it because enough people are ripped into it by now. But like, bruh, like, how does it make sense? Final Fantasy 7 is on PS. They literally just put it out free on PS4. You know what I mean? Like, why is the DLC? And then I know they're like, oh, but the DLC is optimized for PS5. Well, why? The game it's DLC for is literally, doesn't make sense. But anyway, If you're interested in spending time with your fans, you could set up a hosted Valheim server. The game is very popular and could be a fun way to expand your video format. I mean, I could do that if I had internet that was being fair, because as you guys have probably been able to tell points throughout the stream, my internet is being difficult. And let me tell you, I went out of my way to try and make sure it wasn't so bad. So it could be worse, literally. But yeah, I'll keep that stuff in mind. Like, I'm still taking it kind of easy with certain things on YouTube because I don't want to like spread myself too thin or try to do too much stuff. A lot of people do that early on YouTube and burn themselves out. Like, oh, I'm going to play with people. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it's like they can't keep up with it all and it overwhelms them. So I'm not going to make that mistake. I'm going to take it as it comes. Right now, I'm still trying to just make content consistently and try to interact with people when and where I can, and things of that nature. So Fabula Nova took over my life for a bit. Final Fantasy 15 more so. Yeah, I would love to see more Fabula Nova Chrysalis stuff. Like Typo. I played that in December and I finished it in December. I enjoyed that. That's part of Fabula Nova Chrysalis. Obviously, we was meant to get Versus 13 as part of it, but nope. I believe 15 is still part of it, right? But it's not how it was going to be connected. The thumbnail is funny. Yeah, I tried to pick something that would be relevant, but kind of catch people's attention. You think Replicant 1.5 has more Accord stuff in it and more story stuff in general? Well, that's an interesting point to consider. I hope it does. I hope that it has something that we don't expect that's related to Drakengard or even Nier Automata, but just something that wasn't in the original game that kind of implies that there's more, like there's like another Nier game coming at some point or something like that. Those Versus 13 Fabula Nova days, 2006 to 2012, OG Versus 15 fans know what's up with that. The memories. Oh yeah, I remember seeing the trailers for those things, man. I remember seeing the trailers for those stuff, and I didn't know as much about Final Fantasy back then, and I most certainly didn't know what Versus was, but it looked cool. And as time's gone on and I've learned more about it, it's like, man. But hey, we got Viren Rex. We'll see. We'll see what Viren Rex is gonna do. We're kind of getting Versus now. Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Tekken, Tomb Raider, and Sims, Pokemon, LOL. But have I ever completed any of these? No. What, you've not completed Kingdom Hearts? None of the Kingdom Hearts games? You've not completed those? Final Fantasy, okay. Tekken, well, you can complete Tekken in terms of the story mode, but that's more forgivable to just play Tekken and just playing it. Tomb Raider, I guess it depends on which ones, but yeah, fair enough. Sims, you don't ever really complete Sims, so, and Pokemon, yeah, a little different. They took the goddess Etro and turned Etro to Luna Freya in the low Final Fantasy 15. Noctis versus 13 was supposed to sleep with Etro, meaning he's Etro's champion. Yeah, man. I don't know. I guess it might be a spoiler. I don't know. I don't know how many people have played 15. I'm going to assume most people have played Final Fantasy 15, but I'll just say what they did with the logo with Final Fantasy 15 was quite cool. I liked what they did. I didn't see it coming. And it's not like the biggest deal in the world, but I just thought it was kind of cool. It was a cool thing to do in the game. Have you thought about streaming on Twitch as well? I have, but again, I don't trust my connection. So if I have a better connection, for sure, yeah. But until then, I just want. This is the reason why I'm doing it like this. I'm not like playing a game or or anything too crazy, because it's like I don't want to do anything to strain the system. You know what I mean? But it's like, man, I would love to do much more dynamic streams than this, because I know this is a bit dry. Like I ain't even got no music in the background, or it's just kind of like just the ambience, whatever. But yeah, I've considered it though, for sure. Yeah, I remember Etro was supposed to be the death goddess of Versus 13 back in those days. I wonder how this concept has changed in terms of the more putting some of its old Versus concepts in Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I wondered that too. Let's see. I'm curious how far he's going to go with it. You know, because a lot of people will remember that Versus 13 was supposed to be kind of a bit of a darker Final Fantasy from how it was being put across, like quite dark. And I'm curious how much of that darkness has made its way into Virum Rex, especially with it being connected to Kingdom Hearts. You know what I mean? And what do you guys think is the chances that Virum Rex is going to become like its own franchise? So I made a video about this, but a lot of you may have not seen it. But in fact, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to get my videos and put them in the chat when I reference them, so you guys can see them if you want. But what do you guys think is the chances that he that Vera Rex is going to be in its own, like have its own franchise basically? Do you guys think that's likely or not? You know, like kind of like how in Kingdom Hearts generally the worlds, the Disney worlds and all of that, the Final Fantasy worlds, well not really Final Fantasy worlds, but the characters, they're from established franchises and universes, right? So you see Aerith, you're like, oh, it's Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, or it's Cloud, or it's Sephiroth, or it's Jasmine, it's Aladdin, blah blah blah. Like you know who they are. We see Zora and we don't know who the heck he is. We're like, who's this guy? Who's this woman? What's this world? But I'm curious, like, but then when we see certain parts of it, we're like, oh, I know that. That's Versus 13, blah blah blah. You know, but Versus 13 is a cancelled game. So do you guys think it's possible that we get a Virum Rex game at some point, and then a Virum Rex game kind of spins off into its own thing? You know, post the link to my video here in the chat so you guys can see it. But basically, the idea that I put forth in that video was that you guys can open a new tab or something and save it for later if you don't want to leave the stream. But basically, the idea I had for it was that like it could be similar to what happened with Nier. Nier was a spin-off from the Drakengard series, and it was meant to be like just some joke, but look at it. It's bigger than Drakengard ever was. Nier is really popular now, even though it came from a joke, you know? So it's like could Virum Rex just be some spin-off and then it becomes this big thing that's even bigger than Kingdom Hearts maybe? Because a lot of people seem to be willing to pay for a Virum Rex. I mean, who's not? I'd definitely buy a Virum Rex game for sure. Especially if it's going to be anything like Versus 13. And especially if it meant that Nomura could just not hold back with it. You know? For sure, I would definitely want to see that. Your content is great as it is right now. Feel free to expand, but I believe your channel will keep growing if you keep up the grind. A quicker way to grow would be collabs, which would be fun. Huh. Yeah. I mean, I will continue to try doing what I can. Yeah, I don't really. It's an interesting point you bring up about collabs. I don't know really like anyone in the Kingdom Hearts space like that. Maybe part of the reason is because I like never use Twitter. But I don't really like. I know of people. Like if you was to drop names, it's like I probably almost certainly know of these people because I see their content, and I've watched Kingdom Hearts content for years before I ever made any of my own. But I don't like have friends or anything that make Kingdom Hearts content, or I'm not like associated with any of the people that you watch really. So it's like for me, I wouldn't mind, but I don't know anyone like that kind of thing. And I'm quite happy with how I do my content, but I'm open to it for sure. So, are you planning to make videos about anything other than Kingdom Hearts? I know you've already uploaded some videos of Nier though. Yep, of course. I'm definitely planning to do lots more stuff on everything. Nier especially because Nier has got Replicant coming up. Literally my next video is on Nier Replicant, you know. So the next video I upload isn't going to be on Kingdom Hearts, it's going to be on Nier anyway. And I will have more Nier stuff coming. There's so many games I would like to talk about, and I think I will get around to at some point. But right now, I'm just making Kingdom Hearts content because I actually enjoy it, and it's easy for me to do it in a way where I don't feel like I'm burning myself out. You know what I mean? Kingdom Hearts, like, I knew it had a lot of stuff to it, but when you start making videos, you really realize, like, you could talk about Kingdom Hearts all day. You know, there's so much things to talk about. It's actually quite nuts. You know, it actually is. Virum Rex and Yuzora are very likely to be the spiritual successors to the originally envisioned Fabula Nova Crystalis saga. Nomura isn't salty, he is dedicated to his vision and story. Yeah, I can definitely see that. As a storyteller myself, I definitely resonate a lot with the idea of being dedicated to a vision. Like when you got a story idea and it's something you're very passionate about, it's difficult for you to want to let go of it, especially if it's someone else. You know, like in his position, it's like he's got, you know, whoever is telling him at Square Enix, like, not this project, this is cancelled or whatever, you know, like this is going to be Final Fantasy 15, go and work on Kingdom Hearts 3 now. Like that kind of overhead and kind of control over the creative process, man, it can ruin a lot of different things. And as someone mentioned earlier, to do with Disney as well. So, you know, thank you, Rose. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you like my content. I'm glad you like my content. In all honesty, like when I make my videos, I'm not even saying this to try and be like modest or humble or anything. But when I make my videos, sometimes I'm like, yeah, that was all right. Now there's some videos I make where I'm like, okay, that was a pretty good video. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, okay, that was all right, you know. And then I see people's reactions to them, and people really enjoy it. So it is inspiring, and it does definitely encourage you to keep making more videos for sure. But you know, I know I'm an embarrassment. Leave me alone. I have a problem. I don't want my Kingdom Hearts streams to end. Well, who knows if it'll end? That's a question, you guys. Do you guys think Kingdom Hearts is gonna ever end? Like, do you guys think it's gonna have like? Do you think that Nomura has a definitive ending for this series in his head? And do you think it's gonna be phase 2, or is it gonna be something beyond phase 2, like phase 3 or 4? Or I mean, how many phases are there gonna be? You know, this is still a very fun stream. It's very laid back, which is a nice change of pace. Thank you. I'm glad. I don't watch a lot of streams, to be honest with you, so I'm not sure what type of pace streams generally are. I'm just doing what I know I'd be probably good at doing, which is talking. You know, like I can't trust that if I had gameplay on, it'd be extremely entertaining or anything like that. But I know that most of you have subscribed to me because of what I say, me just talking. So it's like, well, I guess if I talk, some people will enjoy that. If you're planning to do other videos, then what's most likely the next? Oh, I kind of already answered this. Personalized watch. Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna have more reactions, more reaction content. The thing with me is that like I'm not a reaction channel exactly, so it's like I don't just want to spam my channel with reactions. You know what I mean? Like I could make a reaction video every day, but no, I don't want my channel to be a reaction channel too heavy. You know what I mean? But when I see things that inspire me or I think I should do a reaction to, I'll tell you what, I don't know how many of you heard, but next week there's supposed to be this Square Enix event going on. So if anything crazy is revealed there, I'm sure you'll get some reaction videos out of me. So I think that the Virum Rex World line will be the next mainline Kingdom Hearts game with Yuzora as the lead character. Think of it in terms of Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, or Chain of Memories, I suspect. Okay. So Virum Rex World line. Yeah. I definitely think that I do think a Virum Rex game's quite likely. A lot of people think that. I hope it is, personally. I hope that's the next thing we see. You want me to? I'm going to tell you guys actually, since you're all here, and I can share my ideas with you guys. You know what I would really like to see? Nomura keeps saying that in 2022 is going to be this shocking thing. You know what I would like if it is a Virum Rex game? I would love if the footage, like he remakes the Versus trailers with Virum Rex. I would absolutely go nuts if he did that. Like I'm talking like, if you know the old Versus 13 trailers, imagine he remade all of them but in Virum Rex. Bruh. Like that would be crazy. And then at the end it's like, you know, the title comes up and it says Virum Rex. You know, and like the whole, it's a fantasy based on, I would freak out. I would freak out if he remade the Versus trailers or something, or remade one of them Like, I'm not talking like the car scene, which is kind of like a reimagining of it. I'm talking the old, like a whole trailer. You know, like the trailer where Noctis is walking down the steps and he's being attacked by all the soldiers, and that that was already hype. But imagine it's Yozora, like that would be crazy. I could see Viren Rex becoming its own thing, hopefully on the Square Enix. Yeah, I think it would be likely if it was its own thing, it would be under just them. You know, I'm not sure Disney, like what does Disney, I don't know, like what would they really have to do with it? Nomura is just getting his story out. Stella was also rumored to be dead in Versus 13. Nameless Star is dead too. Summoner Song is God. The light, I think. Yeah, could be like Master of Masters. I was hoping Viren Rex will be under Disney, lol. Disney love making money. They'll get Nomura all the help he needs for Viren Rex. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. For sure. I could definitely see that happening. You know. I mean, Square loves making money as well. You know. Square loves making money too. I'm honestly not sure if Kingdom Hearts will ever end. It's sort of like Marvel and Star Wars in that respect. Oh, but I honestly don't mind. It would be nice to see some closure by the end, though. Yeah, it's like it's kind of difficult to see an ending, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, could it keep on really being milked like that? I mean, it's not impossible, but I don't know. Kingdom Hearts will end when Nomura retires, but Disney will probably milk itself after that. But that's non-canon for the fact. Yeah, that's what would happen. It'd basically be the sequels in Star Wars, probably, right? That's probably what it would be. I'm waiting for the new Life is Strange free trailer and reveal. Yeah, I think that's going to probably be at the Square Enix event next week. Oh god, yes, the 2006 trailer, it would be full circle. Yeah, and I love that. I would love to see that. That for me would be what would be hype. Honestly, remade versus trailer redone in Viren Rex style would be the stuff of dreams. I'm right there with you, man. A fantasy based on fiction or a fantasy based on unreality. Oh my days. Oh my days. Yep. That would be nuts. So, okay. I've been going for 2 hours, 25 minutes. If you guys have any final comments you'd like to make, be sure to put them in. But I'm going to be wrapping up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I know it was quite, casual. Like, I'm not really sure what you guys expected. I'm not sure if you thought it was going to be something like, I don't know. I don't know what you thought. I don't know what the thumbnail made you think either. Like, but, hopefully it wasn't disappointing. What is the biggest Kingdom Hearts mystery that has you theorizing like a madman at the moment? Probably, I don't know. It's anything to do with unreality. Anything to do with unreality in Yozora. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have left this long, but I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this because I kept saying I was gonna say it and I didn't say it. But there's still 13 of you, so I'll tell you guys a thought I've been having recently. So earlier I was talking about the likelihood of the Kingdom Hearts universe being the fictional universe and stuff. Now, one of the main reasons why I think that's quite likely, and it's not a crazy idea, it's really simple, but I mean, what is the implications of the fact that the entire Kingdom Hearts story is basically written in the Book of Prophecies? At least it seems that's like what's happened, right? Now, if that's true, the whole story is just written in the Book of Prophecies and it's meant to play out the way it plays out, then does that not mean that the Master of Masters is basically like the author of the Kingdom Hearts universe? Because he wrote the Book of Prophecies and everything that happens in the Book of Prophecies is the entire Kingdom Hearts story, right? So does that not mean he's the author of the entire Kingdom Hearts story? Even the foretellers, he gave the foretellers their names. So the foretellers they got their identities from him, right? The Keyblades, the worlds, even. The worlds are projections of the Book of Prophecies. He wrote the Book of Prophecies, so that means the worlds are what he wrote. So does that not mean that everything in Kingdom Hearts is basically just his story? You know what I mean? Like, is that not what it basically means? If he wrote the entire thing out, you know? I don't know. I just thought it's time to think about. And if it is true, then that's why when you see that, some people say that they think the Master Masters is originally from unreality, right? They think he came from unreality, like he's from there. And I think that would be interesting because if he's from unreality and he has some sort of power, right? Like it seems like there's some power over dreams over there. You see how like Yozora, right? He has power over dreams in some type of way, it seems. So it seems like there's some type of dream or magical power to conjure up things or something like that. And then the Master of Masters, if he's from unreality, his power, I don't know if he's Yozora or if he's just related to Yozora or if he's just got some type of power where he can manifest his dreams as reality in some way. If he can, then maybe that's kind of what he did with the Book of Prophecy. I don't know. But it's something I've been thinking about. And it's a theory I've always thought maybe I should make a video on, but it is so, like, it's difficult to, there's not really, like, I don't know. But at the very least, one thing I like, the part of it that, like, all the unreality stuff is just, theories. But it is literally, as far as we are aware, facts that he wrote the Book of Prophecies, and literally everything in the Book of Prophecies is the story of Kingdom Hearts, which would literally technically make him the author of Kingdom Hearts. No? Pretty sure it would. So, I don't know. I'll see what you guys are saying about that. Thank you. This was an enjoyable stream. Keep out. First need to sit together. Layers. I know I've just gone on more, so I'm not sure if you're still here, Xen, but laters if you're not. It was great. Enjoyed your stream, man. Had a good time. It's funny, you're all saying bye to me. It's like I just kept going on. And I dropped like this. I shouldn't have done it this late, but it's like I just dropped this whole big thing, and then it's like, oh gosh, now we've got to unpack this whole theory I just threw out, But maybe that's a good thing to close the stream on. Enjoyed your stream, had a good time. We'll try to pop every now and again in future streams. Fun discussion. Glad you enjoyed it, and thanks for the stream. It's a swell time. Love. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Just got a crazy idea. With the Book of Prophecies is like a normal book in unreality. There's a bestseller. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know if it'd be funny to be a bestseller. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm kind of thinking like, is that maybe where Kingdom Hearts comes from in their world? Is that what it is? Like Vera and Rex might be a video game for them, right? But Kingdom Hearts might be like a book or something, And the Master of Masters may be the one who wrote it. I don't know. Yes, exactly. That's why some people say Nomura is the Master of Masters, right? Like I wouldn't think Nomura is the Master of Masters in the sense of like it's literally him in there. You know what I mean? But in the sense that, in terms of the like in a sense, it puts him in the same position, doesn't it? If he's the author of Kingdom Hearts, Nomura is the director of Kingdom Hearts, so it's like technically it's the same role in a way. It's just that the Master of Masters has a more direct connection with the story because he's the one that sets the people up to play out his stories. Like literally assigning roles to people, like actors in a stage play. It's like you give them their script, the foretellers, you give them their script, their roles. He even calls it roles. They're even called roles. Like roles, like an actor's role, right? You put them out onto the stage and they've got to fulfill their roles. They've got to play out their role. They've got to act out the role in the story, and if they diverge from their role, then the story will be ruined. So it's like they have to fit their role so that the story works. That's kind of how I'm seeing it anyway right now. Mind blown. Bro, you're onto something with the Kingdom Hearts universe and the Book of Prophecies. I can totally see that. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm going too far with it, but I mean, I'm just looking at what we know to be the facts. There's no proof necessarily that the Master of Masters is from unreality originally or that he's connected with Yozora, but some people think he is, and I think if what I'm saying is true about him being the author of everything in Kingdom Hearts, then it's possible. Her nameless star is Master Monster's girl. I don't know. Who is she? We don't know who she is. Who knows? She could be. Yuzora has one red eye. No name sword has a blue eye. Definitely make that video. That sounds great. Yeah, I might. I've got other videos I want to do first. But I might get around to it at some point. I don't know. If I can get my thoughts straight on it. Thanks for doing the live stream today. You're welcome. Also, Master of Masters is voiced by the Noctis voice actor. And didn't Nomura say he identifies more with Noctis than Sora? I don't know. Did he say that? I don't know. But if he did, it's something interesting to think about. But okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up there, because if I do not, I will be here for like another 10,000 hours. So we don't want that. No matter how interesting these videos are, we do not want that. So I appreciate all of you guys for coming to the stream, and I haven't checked the likes, so I don't know if you guys have been liking the stream or not. Let me check, because you know us YouTubers, we always got to be like, hit the like button, guys, hit the like button, so I don't think I did that at all this stream. But it is what it is. But yeah, hit the like button, guys. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe and blah, blah, blah. And, I only say that because you have to kind of say it as a YouTuber, because most people forget. But thank you. You guys have been liking the stream. I've got 35 likes on it, so I do appreciate that very, very much. I do appreciate all of you that have come and listened to me talk and ramble and my weird internet connection for all of these 2.5 hours. Yeah. Hopefully at some point I can get that more ironed out, but I do appreciate it, and I'm very glad that you guys enjoyed yourselves as well from what you're saying. And again, thank you for all of you that have been watching my videos, that have subscribed, that have been supporting on my comment section and stuff. I do recognize you guys when you've commented. I do remember your names and stuff, and of course I have to give a very special dedicated shout out to Horror Pill. You probably didn't expect that, but I have to, because the last time I did a stream, I only had 2 people watching, and you was one of them. and it was a few months ago, and I didn't have many subscribers, but Horror Pill was watching me the whole time, and I was like, oh, there's someone watching me. So I'm glad that you that you're here, and thanks for the support when there was no one watching my live stream. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate everyone watching me now as well, all of you. So shout out to everyone that's in the chat that's been supporting me, because look, I'm still a tiny channel, guys. Like, what's my subscriber count even saying right now? Oh, I'm at 1.3. Whoa, that's another thank you. Jesus, I'm at 1.3 already. Oh my gosh. I only hit 1K the other day. I'm 300 subscribers up already. So thank you very, very much, man. Yeah, you're all OGs now. You're all OGs. Like, if I don't know how big my YouTube will ever get. I may get to some people's YouTube channels get to 10, 20K, and then they fall off, and it's just, that's about it for them. I'm trying to not be that. But you never know. But whatever happens, you guys, you are the OGs. You know what I mean? So I mean, you guys are, because it is still very, very early days. So I appreciate everyone who came and stopped through, and even anyone who was watching from the clouds, from the shadows, from the darkness, and didn't comment anything. I shout out to you as well. Appreciate you guys as well. And Ridiculous, you're late. You hear me, son? You're late. I've been waiting for this stream to. Well, you're late, but it's okay. I'm joking. Yeah, I'm not joking, because I'm closing the stream down. I'm not joking, but I'm just kind of having just some casual chat with you guys right now. just kind of talking to you guys on a level, you know what I mean? Because right now there's only 11. It's like fluctuating between 11, 13, whatever. But right now I'm seeing everyone who's in here right now is, you know, you're the real ones for sticking around this long. I can see which of you have been here from the start. So like from the beginning of this stream and is still hanging out. So thank you. So I have no idea what it's like for you guys. So, but yeah, let's see what you guys have been saying. And I know I'm gonna still be. I just feel obligated to read you guys' comments. I can't just leave it. I just probably should, but I can't do it. You know, I just can't. This was fun. My first stream, I loved it. I was so glad hearing you comment on my thoughts. Great job, man. Well done. But when's your bedtime? You're going for no. I'm not going for an all night, Isabel. I'm not going for an all nighter. I just did it this late because my analytics tell me the vast majority of my subscribers are in the United States, right? So it's like logically, I went to pick a time that would probably be a bit better for them, but also not too ridiculous for me, you know. Because I would imagine a lot of the people you follow, if they're American, they stream at times. If you're American as well, that matches both of you, right? But it's like, for me, it's like, you know, it's 1 a.m. here, and for you guys, it's still probably like a bit earlier. It's like in the evening and stuff. So, love the stream. Nameless though is everyone's got to change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind. So I have no issues with that. Good night. Talking about Kingdom Hearts is like a huge black hole where time doesn't have a meaning. It is. Okay, you guys just saying nice stuff. Thank you, Steffi. Thank you. It's flattering. Really is. You guys probably don't know this, but again, I'm going to just put you guys on level. You guys probably don't know this, but I've been on YouTube for a very long time as a content creator. I've been making content since I was 11, but I've not ever dedicated myself to a YouTube channel. So not on this channel, but I have older YouTube channels. And so I've been on YouTube a long time making content, but I've never sat down and been like, let me make an actual channel, consistent content, like, and actually try to grow the channel. So this is my first time really trying to do that, and it's been working out quite well. And I only really started taking the channel seriously in November. That's why if you go back before November, my uploads are sporadic. Like, it's all over the place. You'll see I uploaded a video 1 month, then no video for like 2 months, and then another video, and the video is only 5 minutes and it's kind of crap. You know, there was no consistency. It was all over the place and it was just trash. So after I uploaded my video in November about the Nameless Star, I was like, right, I want all the videos to be on point, consistent, certain level of quality, you know. And I'd like to think they're getting better as time goes on. Every once in a while, sometimes, you know, you kind of, you know, not every video is as great. Everyone has their like video they really, really like. And then there's like my video I did on the Wayfinder Trio. People are loving that video right now. And it's my best performing video I've ever made. Now, if you look at my channel, you'd think the video I did that has like what 28 or 29,000 views or whatever it is, you'd think that's my best video, but like percentage wise, that Wayfinder Trio video has obliterated everything. Like, it's got more likes than any of my videos have ever had, and it's got more views in a short space of, like, it's just destroyed. So, and I'm glad, because it wasn't a theory video really. I'm glad it proves that I don't have to do a theory video to get views, because I was kind of, that's why I uploaded it. It was like me, it was still Kingdom Hearts, but I wanted to see if I don't have theory in the title, and if it's not a theory, it's just a regular like kind of discussion, will people watch it as much, or is everyone only going to care about me talking about theories, you know? And it did better than all my theories, so it's all good. I'm sorry, everything else about this in the comments. YouTube doesn't like to give me. It's all good, man. It's all good. You don't have to apologize. It's not your job. You're not on the clock. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, ridiculous. Where you at? You didn't get here on time, so blah blah. You know, it's all good. I appreciate you guys slowing down the chat, because you know. Thank you. You lot are madness. He just let me down as well. Yeah, I don't know how many of you got the notification. I have no idea, but I hope it was enough of you. A lot of people showed up as soon as I went live, so I'm assuming most of you got it. I'll be waiting patiently for your next video. Love your channel. Your content is fantastic. Thank you very, very much, Ridiculous. Thank you, thank you. And yes, Isabel, I am going to be going to bed. Your videos have amazing quality. Your writing for these essays is super good. Honestly, they're just fun to listen to. I don't really even write them, to be honest. I just do bullet points. I don't write. Like, I kind of have a script, but not really. Like, I don't write out as well. I think I could, if I really sat down and tried to write a script, it'd probably be a bit better. But yeah. Okay. Well, that's it, guys. That is it. So what I'm going to do with this stream is I'm going to make it unlisted, but I have a playlist on my channel that is it's a live stream playlist. So if you guys ever want to see this live stream and go back for whatever reason, I don't know why you would, but if you do for some reason, it'll be in that playlist. Okay. And I do have playlists for most of my videos on my channel. So yeah, so if you're wondering where's the live stream, I want it to go back to 1 hour and this where he said this silly thing that's probably not true, so I can pick it apart. But if you want that, then it'll be in the playlist. So you can go and look back at it. But again, thank you guys very, very much for coming to the stream and for all of your comments, all of your nice comments, all your ideas, all the things you've shared. And hopefully I'll be doing more of these at some point. I'm not the biggest streaming person, so I can't promise or say exactly when I'll do another one or when it'll happen, but it will happen. And for the people who've asked about the Discord server, I will again look into that. I will try and think about it and try and see what I can do with that, because I know some people want that, because I don't really like to use social media like Twitter and stuff. It's like, never liked Twitter from the time it came out. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys very much for coming, and yeah, that's all I've got to say, and I'm out. Peace.
Un salut éloché dans ma chère Andréchie. Contre Itraille, voyage frei, métier notre planète. You connais pas l'intérêt m'empêche plus cher au poids plus folie. Salut toi aussi. Comme d'un monde jaloux qui obéit du comme c'est sacrifié et la peste importe Juillet et la matinée. Destin transfert sous la nuit. Caché longtemps la folie ciment. On pouvait ni fumier, extrême et bruyant salut, si jamais volou, sauvé, déchets la noix, tout droit pouvoir calmer pas la table jouvin, tête levée, l'homme légère au poids des amis, salut conseil, chien
And now, the secret ending, the true final secret ending that you can only unlock if you stay in the stream all the way up until the 3rd hour. I'm joking. But one last time, thank you very much for the 4 of you that are here. Thank you. Thank you for staying, guys. Thank you very much. Now let's all go to bed. Bye bye.